Hi, I'm Anime Now, and I'm joined by Nerdigans. We're doing a show called Tokyo Happy Hour, where we're going to talk about anime, the culture of Japan, manga, video games, music, idols, all sorts of things, and especially the politics that are influencing those things. Not necessarily what taxation's doing and really boring things like that, but kind of like how ESG is leaving the country. Like, I don't know what leaves Japan in a hurry, but it's leaving in a hurry. But anyway, here's Nerdigans.
Up, buddy, bounding in the comics audience and weebs and otakus everywhere. And my kitty wants to say hi too, apparently. And we got quite a few stories. One of them, well, actually all of them being really important topics, especially the final one, since nobody is talking about it. But the first one we're definitely going to be talking about is the one that's gone viral for good and bad reasons. And that would be the unveiling of One Punch Man Season 3's trailer and the studio and the main staff. So this morning, the One Punch Man anime official website and Twitter account revealed that it was not going to be Mappa. It was not going to be Bones. It's not going to be Madhouse either. But JC's staff was coming back to animate Season 3. And it really stinks for the anime fans for many reasons. Because one, if you're a One Punch Man fan, you know, the webcomic fans are winning, let's be real.
Yeah.
It's because the webcomic came back from hiatus. It's been slamming. One Punch Man manga readers, well, we're just getting manga chapters at this point because, Murata, just go on hiatus, please. I'm really devastated that you have, let's, for the lack of better term here, bastardized my favorite arc of the webcomic, which is the Flashy Flash Be a Sound Sonic arc. And then just as you think it couldn't get any worse, then the anime comes in and says, hold my beer.
See, I was a little worried about One Punch Man's second season there when they dropped out of the original animator, and see, that's what sold me on One Punch Man was just all the over the top action in the show. Like compared to the very docile moments where Saitama's just like, "You're gonna fix my roof," and he punches the Bug Man like the head off the Bug Man. Those kind of things.
That's what we see.
It was always well done.
Well, that's what we see in that's nothing compared to what we see in the manga. And I've been covering the manga since 2016. I've been covering the webcomic since 2019. And it's one of those things with the webcomic, by the way. I do have to stress this. Even though the art isn't good, it's not Murata quality art. It's just something about it that just like you could get past it, the crap quality, and just enjoy it. The writing does it. The writing is just incredible.
Yeah.
And that's how I somewhat got through the first half, because I did cover the first half of season 2, because it did do somewhat of a good job adapting the manga. But then, and I could look past the art to an extent, but then the second half, the first episode, the second half, writing went out the window, and I was like, nope, done. Had to rage quit it. That's a huge problem. And something that I have been seeing on social media, and I've been seeing people really, really complain. Mappa Bros especially have been complaining because back in December 2022, Shonen Leaks posted that Mappa was going to be, working on One Punch Man Season 3, and the One Punch Man anime Twitter account shut them down. They're back in the form of a different Twitter handle, but
whoa, they're getting really protective of that stuff. They're arresting people who go out and pirate manga now. You heard about that they're arresting people.
They've done this before too. It's nothing new. I've been around the block. I've been covering manga and anime since late 2015, early 2016. This is nothing new. I've seen the fall of Manga Stream, Kiss Manga, Manga Panda, and other sites take their place. And same with it's the same. TCB is still up. despite what they say, OP scans, they're not gone yet. Their Twitter account is up in a different form, but they're still here. They're just not good. They're not doing One Piece anymore. All the leakers have moved on to Reddit and Discord. They're just not going to be on Twitter anymore.
Yep.
Like
4chan as well, yeah.
Understand is that you're not going to get rid of them. You're not going to get rid of scan leaders either. Nope. And I know we're going on to a different topic, but it feels like it kind of needs to be said here because people keep saying, "Oh, the pirates are." No, if you are saying this, then you are just ignorant or new to the manga and anime community. It's just not going to happen, and it's the same thing with anime pirate sites. You're not going to get rid of them. And I'm looking at you, Perini, who says that Crunchyroll has better quality anime player than a pirate site. He's delusional. So much delusion in this community. I just don't get it. But anyways,
you want to talk about him?
Oh, do you want me? I spent 2 hours talking about it on the video last night. I could go on a tangent on a rant on that. I don't have the article in front of me, but basically, let me keep it short and sweet here. So basically, this mofo who is the COO of Funimation turned Crunchyroll president, Raul Perini, he said in an interview with The Verge that the target audience for Crunchyroll is anime fans, and that's all they need to focus on. They don't need to expand and try and bring in a new audience. No, they don't need to do that. They said that that Crunchyroll is basically he says it's somewhat stable, I should say. Oh, somewhat. It's getting there. What was the other thing he said that just was freaking insane? Oh, he acknowledged that on the ad, that his ad support content or whatever, it's not making any money. He basically admitted that. Oh God, he said that Crunchyroll didn't need e-commerce. It didn't need to do more e-commerce stuff. I'm dead serious. He said this, and
are they really taking up this battle against physical merchandise? Is that what it is? They're not even going to sell T-shirts?
And then this is where it got really insane. He was talking about like how they didn't need to like emphasize. He was saying that Crunchyroll is a streaming site first, and then they do some theatrical releases and didn't need to really emphasize on theatrical releases. I'm like, dude, what the hell are you thinking? Do you not? And they talked about the flywheel model, which I think is I agree with it. You have this is how you get more people. This is how you make money. You have your merch, you have theatrical releases, you get the marketing to promote it. Kind of like with what Pokemon did for like Pokemon, the first movie. That was the example I used.
Yeah.
And so you got your merch from that's like a Burger King, for example, that with the toys for kids meals, and then the extra collectibles that you could get separately. Then you have at the movie theaters, you had the Pokemon collectible movie cards, right? And then and that got more people to go to the theaters, and that turned more people into fans, right? He doesn't believe in that crap. Then there was, they mentioned like theme parks and whatnot. And he took it literally for some reason. That part to me was conventions, like Crunchyroll Expo. He said I guess it flew over his head or something, but that's what it was to me. Like, why would you not do that? It just made no freaking sense.
Well,
and the thing that gets me, hold on, thing gets me the most is he knows the site is buggy. He admitted this thing is buggy. And I got to give props to the interviewer at The Verge, because she says straight up the one question that everyone at their publication straight up said that was their number one question for him was that the site is buggy, the app is buggy, crashes all the time. Are you going to do something about it? Right. And there was other great questions too. And he says he's an engineer first, and he knows it. And they've been trying to fix it. Well, it's been 10 years and it's still buggy.
Well, he says this as the new Gundam Seed Freedom movie makes box office records in Japan.
So does Haikyuu.
Yeah, it's true. Again, I mean, over here in the West too, like Gundam. I'm just using Gundam because it's a very niche thing. It's not something that's like a huge appeal thing like Pokemon. You got to have a lot of foreknowledge getting into Gundam these days. It's not really entry level anymore.
Same with
And
Kaiju, but
yeah, and so you have like the Gundam narrative release that happened here in America, and then Hathaway's Flash. These were massive on the scale of anime releases, as well as Dragon Ball Z Super Brawly or Brawly, whatever, the one that
yeah,
went
Dragon
in
Ball
the US.
Super Brawly and Super Superhero.
Yeah, and super again, these
And
were
Jujutsu
huge
Kaisen
releases
0.
as far as anime is concerned. I mean, of course, Pokemon knocks it all out of the park because it's Pokemon, but there's a market for the theater. This guy's nuts.
Oh, and this is just freaking insane. It is insane because you have the thing that pisses me off the most about what's been happening, and I've been talking to my Aniplex rep about this for a minute, is why would you only have like 1-2 day releases when there's a market for it? You could get more fans this way. Theaters have been dying to have more butts and seats. Why would you not have like week long releases? I mean, look at Kimetsu no Yaiba. What happened in 2020 during COVID? It broke records.
Yeah,
And Jujutsu
and
Kaisen,
manga and anime.
nothing. You had nothing. You had it maybe for like a couple weekends in like
It's like
barely any theaters.
it's on its like 7th movie, isn't it?
Kimetsu no Yaiba is on its 3rd season or 4th
No, no,
season.
is it? I thought the manga's over. That's right.
The
The
manga's done.
over.
Manga's been done for a long time. It
And they've
ended
done
in
2 movies now, right?
2020. What?
They've done 2 movies of it now, right?
They've done 1 movie and they've been doing like specials and whatnot.
Okay, so one of the specials had like an award-winning soundtrack that came out, and it topped all the charts. Like
Oshinoko is the better example if you want to do that. Oshinoko is topping the charts in terms of
really
a soundtrack.
Okay,
But
I'll take your word for it.
But if you want to compare something, let's compare it to France. What's happening there? France had the 1000th episode of One Piece in theaters. Why didn't we have that here? Why? You could have had so many people in theaters. The other thing is that France, another thing, and Biz, I got included on this too. France has the biggest marketing for Kaiju number 8 just for the manga. They had like billboards, they have like commercials, everything going on in France. Naruto had a freaking coin for its most recent anniversary. It is just insane. That's Viz, though. Viz is a bunch of dumbasses for several reasons. But
really?
Yeah, I'm dead serious. Anime and manga is extremely popular in France. It is the biggest market outside of Japan. And it used to, like, I don't know what the hell happened in the past 20 years or so. Something happened, but anime and manga used to be extremely popular here. We used to get tons of licenses and it just stopped. I don't know what happened. It is so weird. I've been trying to rack my brains on it. Something happened like in the, I'm going to say early 2010s. It's not the feminist or Gamergate or anything like that. No. It's something before that. Because all the manga licenses just stopped all of a sudden.
Well, here's the thing, is that Japan caught wise to what was going on. The Shueisha, Ocean Dubs, all these things were costing tons and tons of money. And then you had Chris Sabat and his infamous Black Couch. And although we think these two entities are disconnected, I'm sure a bunch of HR complaints about him and how touchy-feely he gets found their way back to the land of the rising sun. So odds are they said, we can't trust the West, so we're not going to give them stuff. Because the Americans, we like to leverage our contracts. And we like to say, well, we're going to pay money, so you'll do what we say. Meanwhile, the Japanese go to the Europeans and they say, we are very happy to have this business. Otherwise, there are French films in the theaters and they suck. They are les assauts.
I do want to point this out with France, though. France, in terms of their voice actors, France actually cares about voice acting. Same with the south of the border. Latin America, they care about, they love manga, and they have like Goku and Vegeta. Dragon Ball is like a religion south of the border.
It is.
It is. They care so much. It is so different here compared to them, the rest of the world. And I just don't understand. It is just so weird. But the fact that he's just Parini has just said the weirdest things. And the fact that everyone is just so focused on the AI, it just baffles me. I'm like, he said that they go and intervene with their with the anime process, with the stories and all that. I knew this already. I knew they were going to do that. There was consultants over in Japan that Crunchyroll sent them there. I already knew that in 2018 when I went to Crunchyroll Expo, my first Crunchyroll Expo. I talked to an insider there, and I said that I really hoped that nothing like this was going to happen. And he said, "Oh, it's been happening, and it happened long before. It's been happening for a while now. This was in 2018 that I heard this." So. Yeah. Yeah, you want to know? Crunchyroll has been interfering. I think even I would say Funimation at that point. I feel like Funimation at that point, but yeah,
Funimation's been a big problem all around.
This mofo, he had the COO of Funimation and starting in 2015. So if you want to know who's responsible for Dragon Maid, it was this guy. Parini's responsible for that horrible Dragon Maid dub. He's responsible for that fuckery with Panty and Stocking. He's responsible for all that. He enabled that. He is. And the fact that everyone is just so focused on AI dubs and AI subs is baffling. And I already knew the AI dubs were already happening because the Tower of God voice actress said something about it ages ago. She said that it was going to happen, and she was pissed about it. I'm so surprised people are flipping out. This is so stupid.
Well, again, the thing of it is that they have I've heard anime good. Yes, anime good, manga good. Yes. But this is the thing is that these guys, they're antiquated. Look at this guy. Look at him. You think this fella has seen like a modern anime and understood what the hell it's all about? No.
Oh, he claims he has. He claims he watches it with his daughter. He claims he watches it in sub with his daughter, and then he claims he listens to dub in the background.
Oh, yeah.
That's what he said.
I'm sure. You see, you remember the guy that I forgot his name. His name started with an R. He worked for Nintendo. Rodney?
Oh, are you talking about Reggie?
Reggie, that's right, Reggie. Reggie, I knew, played the game.
Reggie is actually not that bad. Compared to this mofo, Reggie is like a saint. Right. He is delusional. He is
so put Reggie in charge of Crunchyroll. Let's get Reggie out of retirement. Get him to run Crunchyroll. Or fix it in no time.
Oh my God. Reggie would at this point, I said in my video, when we got to a certain point in this article, I was like, Sony, just sign this off as a tax write-off. There is no point in this anymore. This mofo basically admitted he does not want to expand and bring in more customers. He doesn't. And also, when I was reading this, I was just like, wait a minute. Crunchyroll's Anime Awards, the lineup for it, because what that lineup is, for me, in my opinion anyway, it basically kind of gives you an idea of who Crunchyroll thinks their customer base is. They don't know who their customer base is.
No.
And they got rid of Crunchyroll manga, and let me tell you, this mofo, when he took over, he said that he was for manga fans. Liar he is, because Kodansha was smart and bailed out. And when Kodansha bailed out to go start K-manga, they said, screw it. We're not going to keep a manga. We're not going to keep any more manga up in here. They could have just done the smart thing and just, added completed manga. You didn't have to do simulpubs. You could have just had more completed manga. Up in the manga app, and you would have been able to keep manga fans. That would have been like, okay, we are for manga fans. We have manga in the library, and that could be part of our membership fee. No, they didn't. They said, screw you. We're going to shut down the app. Then he says in this anyway, that we're for games. Guess what? They treat the games they own like crap, and they get them shut down all the time. It's just, it's insane.
It is.
And the fact that no one is talking about it and all they're concerned about is AI is just unbelievable. It disgusts me.
I am so glad we put this show together. I rarely get to see Nerdigans fired up like this, and I can't wait till we run into some actual stuff that pisses her off, not just annoys
No,
her,
One
you
Punch
know?
Man pisses
This
me
is
off. You have
great.
no idea how much One Punch. No, One Punch. The stuff we're talking about tonight really pisses me off. One Punch Man for quite a few reasons. I'm already pissed off about the manga. I'm pissed off that the anime production committee was like, you know what? We're not going to listen to the fans that don't like that didn't like JC staff and what they did. No, we're going to say screw you and bring them back instead of instead of using Bones, the Mob Psycho 100 production team, which is one's other series. We could have done that, but no, screw you.
Do you think they're concerned about overworking them? I know animators are being overworked right and
JC
left.
staff is one of the worst because they are working on so many series. That's another thing.
Yeah.
That's even with, and that's another, and I've talked about before, or wrote about before in an article for Bounding with what my Aniplex Insider told me, is that they have increased the production costs over COVID. That was one thing they did. And Mappa wasted on majority of Mappa's production costs are going towards talent. And then some of them, I don't know if it's Aniplex that's doing, Aniplex is doing it for, a lot of it is going towards a lot of it goes towards Blu-rays and stuff post production, because that gets very expensive. And then I don't remember if JC staff, well, a lot of them are outsourcing their art and animation. But here's what I've been saying to people, because people are getting on my case. Look, the only way this is going to get redeemed is if you have a different director, and if you have Kubota as the art director, because Kubota proved himself in the 2D sequences in Dragon Ball Superhero, that he could do some really good combat sequences, and that they have a big budget. As the only way I could see this working. And I would love to see Rotoscope. If you have not seen Rotoscope in full action, in terms of an anime, go watch Hoseki no Kuni, because that's Studio Orange with a small budget, because that was their first anime. It was all CGI with hand-drawn animation for to give texture for for the environment and for some of the fur and stuff like that. They were able to do that with a small budget, and it is a masterpiece. So there's so when people tell me, oh, it's expensive, blah, blah, blah. No, there's no freaking excuse when Studio Orange could do it with Hoseki no Kuni. Oh, God, these people.
Well, and there's a lot of computer-assisted animation going on right now. I'm not talking about AI. I'm not talking about the cel-shaded motion tracking crap they do. There's a lot of computer-assisted animation going on now where the big explosions we see in Jujutsu no Kaisen are being not necessarily animated, but storyboarded using digital architecture software. What's amazing is it's insurance software that I heard that they're using is so what they'll do is accident recreation software, but they're following the debris pattern of the explosions off the buildings, the cars, the civil engineering disasters. It's genius work. So we're seeing a rebirth in anime. And like you said, it's tragic that over here in the US, we're just thumbing our nose up to it, I guess, in favor of the Kardashians.
It's insane. What's really tragic is what people are not seeing in a lot of manga nowadays, because this is why I've been calling it the modern manga renaissance, because what we've been seeing in series like, say, Made in Abyss, especially recently, how the use of one of my subscribers said this in the comments, the way that the mangaka is utilizing a shader and highlights and the line work, it is just next level abstract art. Hell, Murata in One Punch Man, until recently anyway, in 2018, because this is when I coined the term modern manga renaissance. Back in 2018, when he started the first modern manga renaissance, it was out of this world. It was magic. You will never see anything that he did in modern Hollywood.
No, no,
it is
no.
just out of this world with what he did with all the shading that he did. And the thing is, what manga artists do nowadays, and this is why Gege said he doesn't want to do another Jump Festa until Jujutsu Kaisen is done, is they do hybrid art. So they use a mixture of hand drawn and computer. And he wants to, the next time he shows at Jump Festa, he wants to have, or has an exhibition, he wants it to be all hand drawn, all of his own hand drawn art, so he could show the world that he can do, replicate the beautiful art that he does in Jujutsu Kaisen.
And again, we're being it's a very different world over there. Whereas over here in the West, we have bounding into comics here. So a lot of our viewers are familiar with the failings, not just in the artistic department, but also in the writing department that feeds the inspiration for the art. And so we're experiencing kind of the opposite effect that's going on in Japan, where they're having this modern manga renaissance, as you've coined, where we're having this, I don't know, like death march to the dump.
I've been calling it the Dark Ages.
Comics.
I've been calling it the Dark Ages over here.
It's the Dark Ages. It is.
Well, manga's going through the Golden Ages.
Around American comics.
Yep, the manga's going through in the Golden Age, the modern manga renaissance, and the West is going through the Dark Ages. That's what I called it.
It really seems like it, and I hope that we learn from what's happening here, especially with the One Punch Man just copy paste season 3 that we see going on here. Is season 3 supposed to introduce Blast, or is he already been introduced?
Blast shows up at the end of it's the end of the monster of the end of the Psychos fight when Blast shows up. So he should. I don't think it's going to be in season 3. I think it would be season 4.
You trust them not to pull the trigger on him early because he's a huge
I
draw.
hope not. If they do that, that will suck. Speaking of, oh god, now you're reminding me on how they fucking pulled the trigger on Blast in One Punch Man in this arc.
Yep.
Saitama ruined the Flashy Flash arc in the webcomic, and fucking Blast, well, it was already ruined before Blast showed up. Blast was not supposed to ruin the arc either. That's what sucks about it. Oh god, don't get me started. There's a lot of manga being ruined right now. Don't get me started. I can go off on a bunch of manga that's pissing me off at the moment, but
well, I mean, we didn't get a chance to bring this up before the show, but I remembered it beforehand, and I did want to bring this up because we also have news about a Naruto live action movie coming.
Oh god.
Lionsgate.
I can go off on Kishimoto for what he said.
Yeah, it's a mess, but
minute.
This right here is something that caught my eye, and I didn't get a chance to make a video about it yet because I want to make a longer statement about it. This is tragic, and one thing, this is about the culture in Japan. This is less to do about anime and manga and even the live action adaptation. In Japan, the corporation owns everything. It's very difficult to separate yourself from the corporate interest once you sign on the dotted line. And so this mangaka was sort of pulled along into this process and found herself in a position where the live action adaptation showrunners were divorcing themselves of the plot lines, characters, and overall attitude of the show. And she felt very left behind and ignored in this process, took to Twitter to complain about it, was blown out because of that, got a whole bunch of blowback, and unfortunately, due to things that probably happened behind the scenes as well, she ended up taking her life. And this is all too common in Japan, especially with mangaka. This one rises to the top because of the severity of the situation she was in, but all too many of them, even amateurs, people who never get published, end up taking their lives because other people in charge of publishing them or getting them to there completely warp their vision. And, as you're talking about having Blast introduced, then knocked out, knocked in, then the disorder of the season 3 that's coming out right now with One Punch Man, I'm only reminded of just like the chaos this poor woman went through.
And this is why I loved, I'm glad I got to write what Morikawa said in response to this. And because it's something, this whole thing is just a reminder of what has been bothering me about anime adaptations in general and why I ultimately stopped covering them, watching / covering them, except for like Bleach 1,000-Year Blood War, because it's literally something that I was waiting for since the Bleach manga ended, because it's supposed to be the story that Kubo wanted to tell that he couldn't before the Bleach manga ended. And based on what I've been seeing, it looks like we're really going to get it in course 3 and 4. We didn't get everything that we needed in the first 2 course, and I'm not happy about that. But course 3 and 4, let's be real, course 3, Bleach fans, course 3 and 4 are going to be the most important cores anyway. That's what we all wanted, what we've all been waiting for anyway. So I'm really, really glad that Kubo is working directly on it. But Morikawa has actually said more since this article came out, and I'm glad I think I have it still here, because Morikawa's been getting even more feedback from.
Is he like the godfather of manga now? Has
Morikawa's one of the
finally
founders.
passed the baton?
He's one of the biggest influences of sports manga. Hajime no Ippo has been around for as long as I've been alive, so 1989.
Yes.
Yeah, the other pillar of sports manga, and this one is older than Hajime no Ippo, is Captain Tsubasa. And it is actually Captain Tsubasa is in a berserk situation. Luckily, the mangaka is not dead. No. But the mangaka came out recently and said that there's no way they can finish it, but they're going to work with Shueisha to find a way to make it happen, because they want the story to be finished. So that's what I mean by a berserk situation. Luckily, it's not going to be as bad where where they're dead. They're going to have everything set up, but it's really.
Now, DZ3 brings up Squad Zero. Look better.
Yeah, Squad Zero. Oh my god.
Yeah,
I love how Squad Zero's been done in 1,000-Year Blood War. They've done a fantastic job. They really have. Squad Zero didn't have. They expand. Squad Zero is the best example of this. Squad Zero has an expanded role in 1,000-Year Blood War. That's what an adaptation, for me, that's what an adaptation is supposed to be. This is how I explain it, okay? So for an adaptation, for especially manga to anime adaptation, the manga is supposed to be a blueprint, and the anime is supposed to take that blueprint and upgrade it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And the best examples for that, and as I was saying earlier, Hoseki no Kuni is the best example of one. March Comes In Like a Lion is another example of like, in my opinion, one of the best manga to anime adaptations out there. What was the other one? I would say Main Abyss season 1 is good. Season 2, fuck no. Season 2, I had to stop. I don't know what the hell happened over there, but season 2, no.
So Squad Zero, these are the guys that are in charge of protecting
the Soul King.
His name. The Soul King, thank you.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, I just want to say, spoiler alert, I was not ready for the Soul King to be that. I was honestly expecting a black dude with a giant afro sitting on a throne saying, "It took you that long, huh, Ichigo?" I was expecting that.
But the other thing I do want to mention about the Soul, because we're on Bleach, the thing that I really liked about this, about what we got in Core 2, is what we saw with Ichigo's training, and how Ichibei was confirmed, how we got the one theory that Ichibei was making Ichigo into the Soul King confirmed. I was so happy with that, and I loved how it was executed. That was amazing. God, that's what I mean in terms of an anime adaptation. Give me something like that, like expand on the story that, like, or there was hints of it, and especially if you have the author involved. In terms of a live action adaptation, Spencer knows this really well. Kingdom, you have the actual mangaka writing the script. Hara is writing the actual script. You don't have Hara working on the anime adaptation at all for Kingdom.
No.
Period. Hara is not working on the anime adaptation at all. Hara is working on the every script of the live action. Hara is writing it. Mm-hmm. And the director, Shinsuke, he actually works with the mangaka, I think, for every one of his live action adaptations, including Kubo worked on the Bleach one with him. So
Are you
that's
listening, Netflix?
Well, he's working on Boku no Hero Academia's live action adaptation too. That's why I'm like, when people are flipping out, it's like, dude, you got one of the best live action directors.
Like,
Why are
how
you?
are they going to
I
do?
know you're dealing with Hollywood, but he
All
will
Might's
put them
12
in his
feet
place.
tall. He's like 8 feet tall. How are they going to? Wow, that's going to be really weird looking. Big
For
old
Boku no Hero Academia,
CGI.
it will be very
All Might.
interesting to see how it's done. But oh yeah, and Golden Kamuy. Golden Kamuy, the mangaka, worked on the script too. That's why it's so good. And Kingdom breaks records every time. Opens #1, the live action adaptation every time. It does really. It's very popular in Japan. God, I wish the manga would just get a freaking English license already. Jesus. But anyways, enough about that. But yeah, in terms of adaptations, that's my point of view on them. I wish I hate that I still get shit for having this opinion on adaptations and how I'm very stingy on them. But once you like read the manga and you understand, you see like how much love, and you see how the heart of the actual mangaka and soul the mangaka puts in it. It's like, why would you watch the anime at that point? It's hard to describe, man. It's so pretty.
The thing about anime is, if you understand it from the corporate level, they make so much more money off of the manga when it comes to printing costs, distributing costs, reprints, all this jazz. When you make the anime, there's a crap ton of overhead that involved with that, like the recording studio, all the voice actors, sounds, music, da 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 da. So the manga is always kept pristine and correct, whereas the anime ends up leaving out bits and pieces. It'll trip over, it'll change a character, which is meant to purposely drive audiences toward the manga to get the correct or full story behind that thing that was really interesting but not fully explored. And it's such a genius synergy that they have going, that over here in America, we're like, Peg Brown Hole, they'll come to the theater this time.
But something I've heard though, and it's really sad, and I've covered this too, is that a lot of the problems that's been happening is on the Japan on the anime side. A lot of it is because of the higher ups. Because even even like the directors or the animators, like we saw with Dragon Ball Super Hero, they wanted to do 2D. They didn't like the idea. Kubota, he didn't like the idea of doing all CGI, and it ended up being more expensive than doing hand drawn.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and a lot of people don't understand that about this process is that when you think CGI, you think, oh, okay, so we don't have a guy sitting at a table going
it's way harder
frame per frame. Well, it not only is it harder, it's also way more involved, because when we were doing frame by frame by frame, that guy would do the line art. Then he'd pass it off to another guy that did the flats, and then pass it off to another guy that did the shadows, then another guy that handled the backgrounds that are totally separate from the characters that were just animated. Whereas the CGI guys, they got to do it all, baby. They got to get the shadows right, even on the hair follicles. You remember the mess Final Fantasy VII Advent Children was when the wind came up in that environment.
You got a lot of hair helmet realness going on.
Mm-hmm. And Cloud's hair might as well have been made out of styrofoam in that movie.
Oh my God. And speaking of corporate, something that I just don't understand, I think, and I've seen a lot of people getting confused by it, is what in the hell is Kaiju No. 8 thinking by putting, of all bands, for their opening and closing songs, One Republic and Imagine Dragons? I'm so lost. You could have had any band. If you're going to do a Western band for Kaiju No. 8, okay, a Kaiju anime, you wouldn't think to put Imagine Dragons or One Republic on there. No, you would think, the first thing that came to my mind was GWAR, Mastodon, Metallica, Iron Maiden. Like, put like 666 Number of the Beast or something. Not fucking Imagine Dragons. Like, pardon my language, but goddamn, I'm just so so lost. And I even tweeted the mangaka I interviewed, what was it, like a year ago, of Tokyo Underworld, which is a horror survivor series. I tweeted her, I'm like, if Tokyo Underworld ever gets an anime, and you, because it's a Western inspired horror series. Oh, it's so good too. If you go read it, you will love it. It is so good. I told her, I said, if you ever get an anime and you ever think of using Western music, don't do what Kaiju No 8 did.
Right.
I DM'd her that. I'm like, please. And I actually tweeted because the editor of Kaiju number 8 has watched my content before, because I've covered Kaiju number 8 since like chapter 1, and I know I'm behind. But I was really pissed off at One Punch Man. I was so mad that I had to prioritize that first. But I actually tweeted, I'm like, how did you and Matsumoto like approve this? I'm so confused.
Well, the other thing is that I don't know about you, but the overlap with the U.S. Media outlets and stuff with integrating into anime bothers me. I don't like this, like you don't like this. I also don't approve of having American bands in this. You see, Kaiju number 8 is a very popular, like growing kind of anime over there, and I think the American influence may spoil it. I honestly think that there's a Japanese band out there that could do a way better job than One Republic or any of the others that you listed there, like Metallica and the rest of them. Not that they didn't do good music, but honestly, Japan has great musicians. Like, they're the musical mecca of the world right now, and I feel it's kind of a disservice to all these kids that dedicated most of their like grade school lives to learning how to play like hardcore rock and roll, that you'd go with these weirdos. Like, I think Counting Stars was like the biggest thing they ever did.
You could have done a really cool like East meets West collab with like Metallica and a Japanese and a hardcore Japanese band, like a young up and coming Japanese band, and do like an old meets young kind of thing. You could have done like that. Would have been so sick. Because that would have fit with the theme, the underlying theme of Kaiju number 8. Because remember, Kafka is older. He's 30, coming into the Kaiju forces, trying to live his dream. That would just fit so well. You could have done something cool like that. I just don't understand. And Spencer said it just felt so corporate to do this. And God, yeah, it does. Hell, of all, I don't understand why you didn't at least think of picking a French band or something, because Kaiju number 8 is way bigger in France than it is here. It, as I said, they literally had like I don't remember where it was in France, but there was, I think it was outside of a mall or something, where they had a little pop-up with a Kaiju number 8 pop-up with like different information advertising Kaiju number 8. That's why I'm like, if you're gonna pick a Western band, if you're not gonna pick a US band, at least pay back France for what they're doing.
Well, since we're on the topic of this, we might as well take a look at that trailer that dropped a little earlier today. We'll have to pause it frequently, though.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Well, we got a quick comment here from DZ3 before we get into it. He says, well, I'm listening to older Japanese music. I even found a singer who does an island genre. I can't remember the genre in kanji, but it's okay. They also, excuse me, let me slow down. The jazz fusion out of Japan has been stellar since the 70s, and it hasn't lost any of its charm. There's Santiago Bay. If you search that and you see Tokyo Tower in the thumbnail, wonderful song. It's hard not to shake your hips to. It was back in the 70s. It's great stuff.
The other thing I do, of course, want to mention is, remember, as I told you about this earlier, is Oshinoko's opening song broke, I think it was even in the US charts as well. So it's like, picking American songs, why? Oshinoko's American songs.
Very strange.
It just made no sense.
They're trying too hard.
Okay, let's take a look at this, because people were pissed about the character designs as well. because they did not look a thing like the characters. They looked more like Boruto / Naruto characters because that's who the character designer is.
That's awful.
All right, let's see.
Okay, so if you don't know, that's how this goes down, by the way. So
yes, it is. It's what I call this is I say it's a symbiote. This is symbiote realness, and that Kafka becomes basically the Japanese version of Venom, and then number 9 is basically Carnage.
Eh?
He does not look. No, he does not look good. Oh, I'm so let down. He looks better than the character designs, though. At least that we saw.
Right. I don't think they could have translated the textures without another like.
They needed more. They needed more line work. They needed way more line work. They either needed more line. I think either a shader, a little bit more on the shading side, or a little bit of line. More line. Oh, in the face, it needed more line work. They need, and I don't know if it's just me, but do you think the proportion is off in the face from like the face to the rest of the body?
Well, I think that's meant to give it an inhuman look, but the thing
no, I'm talking about like the face being way too small, just in general. Right. And because I think in the manga it's way bigger.
It probably stretches around the skull a little further, but for the purposes of giving the character like the ability to turn his head, unlike me, because I'm a VTuber right now, in order to give the character like the motion of turning his head, they made the skull part a little smaller, perhaps. But the other thing I wanted to point out here is that in order to make this look like how the manga really sold itself, with visually anyway, you'd really have to go into like Studio Madhouse, Redline, bankrupting the company kind of animation to pull that off. And so this is what I tell people when they go into like stuff that they expect to be really over the top with the animation, is that maybe in the fight scenes, but for the regular moment to moment comedic scenes even, it's going to look kind of flat.
Eh?
Yes, they got the gag scene right though. I'm glad they got the gag scene right. That makes me happy.
Nobody got you.
Oh, I hate this opening song. No.
I'm just going to turn it down a little bit.
I know, you don't want to get copyrighted. I hate this opening song. Oh, let's look at the monsters though. Go back. I want to see what that kaiju looks like. Hoshina looks. Hoshina, the hair is too. I wish the hair was just a little bit fuller.
Mm-hmm.
The hair looks way too flat. I remember what I said about hair helmet realness. That's what I mean by hair helmet realness. Hoshina, you should look. Your hair should be way fuller, and it bothers me. But the kaiju looks. It could look so much better.
Well, the thing I really think of immediately is that 1997 Godzilla cartoon that was on Fox or WB maybe, where everything was like that. It was meant to look professional, but there were just a couple of layers missing. So
that's what I was thinking too. It looks like a dinosaur toy. It looks like a dinosaur toy.
Yeah. And as Eccentric Banana points out here, it looks better than the cheap new animation style at DC, and he's absolutely right. This does kick DC's animation styles.
Oh, it frustrates me because this is production IG, and I know the VP there. I've met her in person, so yeah. And I talk to her from time. I actually talk to her in my DMs from time to time. I haven't talked to her in a while though.
Righteous. DZ3 says it looks like Zom 100's art
style.
No.
That is not. Don't do Zom 100 dirty like that. And also, Bug Films. I know, Bug Films is from what I know, from what I've heard through the grapevine, it is pure chaos.
Oh,
it is utter chaos, and that Shaft actually left in the middle of it because of the chaos. It is bad. That production. You want to know why it went on hiatus most of the time? It was, and it wasn't just it just wasn't straight up Zom 100 that is pure chaos. The whole studio is just chaos. So, but yeah, don't do Zom 100 dirty like that. Zom 100 looks better than this.
I mean, they're getting that right, at least. You know?
The comedic scenes, the gag scenes look good. I'm fine with the gag scenes. The backgrounds, but for the gag scenes especially, I'm very pleased with. But God, the character designs do look a lot better than I thought they would.
You know, this feels a lot like FLCL.
Yeah, fully coolly.
Way seriouser, you know? It feels like it's taking the concept.
It doesn't look
way
like
serious.
Kafka in the face, though. That doesn't. That he looks way younger in the face here. He looks like he's 20 and not 30.
Well, you know, the Japanese do age slower.
Well, compared to the manga, he looks older. He does not, because in the manga, his face is a lot fuller, and he has a little bit more lines in the face to make him look older. He looks way too young here.
DZ3 says, I remembered, I actually don't like One Republic. Well, you're in good company.
God, this is so inappropriate here. That looks okay. God, he looks. Oh, I can't stand how Kafka looks. I just can't. That's not Kafka. Oh, Leno looks okay, but the hair helmet realness I just can't get past. But I don't like the suit on Kafka here in Kaiju form. Or I'm sorry to make it easier. I don't like the suit on Venom. Deal with it. That's just how I'm used to calling him. It's not that does not look good on Venom, and I do not.
Venom. You got J-Pop, you got J Venom.
And then there's J Carnage with Kaiju number 9. I hate this.
Okay, they got that good right there. The I'm gonna punch the shit out of you face.
Yeah, this looks a lot better.
Come on. But
I do want to say this though. Remember what I was saying about Hoseki no Kuni? How they took. If you've seen Hoseki no Kuni's art, you know that it's not like uber detailed line work and all that. It's more abstract art, and you could take that and just and really like go for it. The thing is, it's actually I should say it like this. This is a better comparison. It's like Mob Psycho 100. Mob Psycho 100 and Kaiju number 8 have more of a webcomic art style. So you could just like you don't have to do as much to like really make it look fantastic. So I thought as soon as I heard that it was getting an anime, I'm like, oh, we're gonna get a really sick adaptation because you have the blueprint, simple. Take it and just go for it and go all out. And just to see it look like this is just so disappointing. Because I thought we would get something more like Mob Psycho 100, if that makes sense.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm glad DBZ is now seeing the light. God, if you would have had the Mob Psycho 100 team on this would have been gorgeous.
Absolutely. I don't doubt it at all. Like, again, like, it seems like these studios are pricing themselves out because of the work they're doing and the popularity they get out of it. But the other thing is that they're popular and they do good work. So not every anime can be done by them.
I'm so let down by Production IG on this. Like Aoashi was good. They captured the art style. Well, I have my gripes with like the hair and for some of the characters and the movement. But I'm being nitpicky about the movement. I am, but it still looked like the manga. This, no, ma'am. This is not what I pictured. You would think if Production IG had a big enough budget, which they should have gotten a huge budget for this, they would have given us. When I saw her Production IG was getting this, I thought we were going to get some straight up fully coolly realness from this. And the fact that like old school fully coolly, and the fact that we're not just really irritates me. I'm so like down. Oh,
they-
yeah, this is Boruto. You can see their Naruto designs. That is just Naruto and Kaiju number 8 skin.
That's really, that seems, why does that seem so awkward? Must be the forced perspective on the gun.
Yeah.
ここから先命の保証はない。だがそれでも
フォルティチュード 9.8?
だからこそもっと強くならないと。負けない。俺のなりたい隊員はまだ戦える。仲間の
So, the one thing that they seem to be doing okay with is debris, the destruction.
Yeah,
that
the
seems
debris,
to be
yeah.
going okay.
Yeah, that's fine. But you know what? I just remembered the Kaiju designer. Just thinking about the Kaiju designer was supposed to be very epic. Oh my god! Hold on. I gotta pull this up because I remember seeing who it was and who it was, and he was supposed to be really, really good. And I remember when I saw it, I was really pissed that they weren't just the director in general. Hold on a sec. I needs to see it. I'll lose my freaking mind. Where are you?
We're checking on the designer of the Kaiju number 8.
Yeah, the Kaiju designer, not the
Oh.
character designer, the Kaiju designer. Where are you?
Monster
Kaiju
Man.
designer? I saw
Right.
the monster designer. Where the hell is it? I know I saw it on my anime list. Where the hell are you? Here we go. Is this it? Yeah, this should be it. Right. Here it is. It's Mahiro Maeda. There we go. Okay, this is why I got pissed. So Mahiro Maeda is the character designer of Shinseki Evangelion, and he actually is the director from Evangelion movie 3Q, Evangelion movie 2, and I think he did another Evangelion movie, and let me make sure I'm right on that. Because I know we did those 2 Evangelion movies, but I just can't remember. Oh, we did Final Fantasy Unlimited. That was back in 2001. And then he directed, is there another Evangelion movie that I'm missing? Crap, I totally forgot. Yeah, it was those, at least he did those 2 Evangelion movies. As soon as I saw that, when Kaiju number 8 was announced, I thought to myself, why the heck is he not directing this? Why? Why is he only doing the Kaiju designs? This makes no freaking sense. That was the dumbest decision of this production, is to not have an Evangelion director. An Evangelion director not directing this and only doing the Kaiju designs. Why?
Yeah,
Why?
that's true. That makes a whole lot of not sense. I figure we'll just take care of this until Nerdigans runs out of the topics she wants to talk about. She seems pretty fired up about this stuff. So,
well, we're gonna get into the one that I want to do in a second, which is Lovely Complex. But I do want to mention one more thing, and we'll get into that. Is the person that is directing this, by the way, instead is the director of oh my god, of Super. You have God damn it. Where are you, director? Yeah, you have this guy directed Lupin the Third. You have a Lupin the Third director here, and he's directed he directed Blood Lad and has done like storyboards for like Vinland Saga, and he was the director for Bakura wa Mina Kwaiso. You have this guy directing Kaiju number 8, and instead of the director of Evangelion, or at least 2 Evangelion movies. Why? Why? It makes no sense. I just don't get it. And this is why Kaiju number 8 is going to just fail, probably. But anyways,
okay,
now that I got that out of my system, I'm glad I had to cover that and get it off my chest. Let's get to the one that I am just baffled by no one talking about anymore, is Lovely Complex. That whole situation with Discotech. So for those, unless you're living under a rock, you should know that a couple weeks ago, Jello Apocalypse, aka Brendan Blaber, he boasted about botching Lovely Complex, and I actually have read the manga up until like chapter 57 or something, or 58. And I'm glad I watched it. Oh, I'm so glad I watched the anime first before I did that, because I would have probably rage quit it. Oh my god! But the fact that he said he hates this anime for the reasons he does, it is stupid. I am going to read what he said, because we'll get to because I sprained my wrist doing this project. I went through the entire dub and compared it to the sub, and yeah, they lied. A lot of it did make the cut. Where are we? It did. It really did make the cut. So first of all, they said this. Huh?
This is the Twitter thread?
No, we're not at the... should we just go into the Twitter thread since we're at an hour?
No, you're good. I just wanted to make sure I had what was right on screen.
Okay,
That's
so
all.
I'm going through what I want to do is I'm going to go through the letter first, and then we'll go into the Twitter thread, because I want people to understand what he said first, and then we'll jump into the Twitter thread.
Okay, and you're right, Eccentric Banana. Blabber is definitely a ruthless idiot. You're right.
All right, so this is what we're starting here. Marissa told me she was annoyed about having to localize the scripts for this show because she had just watched the show and didn't really like the characters. And I thought this would be a good opportunity to get some volunteer. Actually, let me just pull up the freaking post, because this will be a lot easier than just reading the article, because I really do not want to read he said and all that. I am sorry. I have to, it's my ADHD going off.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I have to do it this way.
No. Whatever works for you. It's the first show. Of course, there's going to be bumps and bruises. No problem.
Okay, here we go. All right, so we're going to start here. So Lovely Complex, for those of you that don't know, is an old shoujo romantic comedy from 2007. The manga came out in 2001. So keep that in mind for when we get into some of the content, the comparisons. And it's about a tall girl named Risa and a short boy named Otani who don't want to date because of their massive height differences. 5 whole inches. Yes, really, 5 whole inches. It's a huge deal. Like, she's way taller than him. He's a shorty. He's a midget. Like, come on, man. Dude,
why is that a problem?
It's a huge deal. No, it is a huge deal. Like, girls are very sensitive about it, and so especially guys are very sensitive about height too. When they're short, they have a complex. People just have that too in general. Let's be real. If you think that sounds like the same plot as Netflix's Tall Girl, a thing where people relentlessly made fun of you for being, quote, pretty stupid. Well, yes, it is the same plot. Lovecom is considered a grandmother of the shoujo genre, mostly because it is old. Fuck off. I'm sorry. I'm going to curse. You're going to deal with it, because this is how I do my thing. Even though it came out nearly 2 decades ago, Lovecom did not have a dub until Sound Cadence's CEO Amberly Connors grabbed the rights to dub it from Discotech because it was an old favorite of hers. Ironically, Sound Cadence deleted their statement condemning Jello Apocalypse too. Wonder why? Discotech did not want to order a dub because dubs are typically very expensive. Yeah, it's called This Is Why You use Kickstarter to raise the money to pay for the dub. All right, let's keep going.
It would lift more publicity about it too.
Yep. So Soundkey has endeavored to make the dub while spending as little money as possible. Well, that was very smart. Let's see. This production was almost entirely asking people to cash in favors. The leads both played their parts for free. And to be fair, the leads were not that bad. And the only one that was really bad was Haruka. Oh my God, Haruka was so freaking bad. he made my ears bleed so bad. And Marissa was set to write and direct the adaptation, also for free. 'Twas a labor of love, com. It was not a labor of love, com. It was not.
Like a labor of hate.
It was a labor of hate, is correct. Let's see. Oh, to save money on all the extra voices, most of the voices in this dub were grabbed in an unusual way. Usually companies that dub anime are working on more than one show at a time. If they have an actor in for show A and they have extra money in a session, they have to bring that actor into show B to voice some background extras because the actor is already there for another show and they're being paid the same amount of money for the same time slot. And it makes sense to utilize them in multiple shows. Funimation, Crunchyroll also does this because this saves a lot of time and money. Yeah, and I've seen voice actors complain about doing background voices too because they feel entitled.
Oh,
yeah. Lovecom was dubbed almost entirely in this way, which is one of the many reasons this dub took 2+ years to come out in a world of simuldubs and weekly releases. Because of this, you can go episode by episode and look at the additional voices credits to tell when it was recorded by comparing what other shows those actors were in at sound cadence. Kind of like looking at the rings of a tree trunk. And the other reasons that this dub took so long as that the production was cursed. Maybe this is why I sprained my wrist while doing this, is because of this freaking curse. I'm not.
Yeah, the Japanese are really sensitive to that superstition stuff. So yeah, there's a good chance that fell on you.
Well, making my own dub titles, as the term is probably why. Is why my wrist is the way it is at the moment. Let's see. I'm not at liberty to go into all the details. Yeah, you violated your NDA. You're lucky you're not getting sued. But suffice to say that anything that could go wrong at some point did. Marissa's spine snapped just before they finished directing, and I had to take over directing the leads for the last third of the series because I was the only person who would do it for free. It's
that
like
sounds familiar.
It's like the anime gods were saying, "Don't botch the dub, moron." Let's see.
They'd learn a thing or two from those anime gods.
Nobuko's actor was literally deported. Whoa, what? Nobuko's actor was literally deported at one point mid-production. We often joked about sorry. We often joked about a meteor hitting the distribution warehouse once the Blu-rays were printed because the universe clearly did not want this dub to be made. No, they did not want it to be made. I'm telling you, when we get to this comparison, you will understand. They did not want this dub to be made. My involvement started when Marissa told me she was annoyed about having to localize the scripts for this show because she had just watched through the show and didn't like it, like the characters. I read the manga. I don't understand why. They're so cute. They are adorable. Like they're just like an old married couple, where you're bickering, like it's cute little bickering and all that. It's just cute. It's adorable. It's really adorable how they get together and how they overcame her grandpa's what's the word I'm looking for? Discrimination against Otani. It turns out it was actually projection from his because his wife was taller than him and they can never walk side by side because she was worried about not being the same height as him, and that was really sad. I'm telling you, this manga is such a cute story. It really is. Let's see. I thought this would be a good opportunity to get some experience writing localization scripts in case I ever wanted to write a dub. It's not going to happen now. Maybe Bomberman letters or something. I don't know. And so I volunteered to help out. The two of us spent many, many hours across many, many days slogging through Lovecom episodes. And while Marissa thought she sort of hated Lovecom's original writing, I came to the conclusion that I definitely hated Lovely Complex. I don't understand how. Okay, so it is quite unprofessional to openly shit talk a property you've worked on in this industry. Lenti cannot express any opinions as they have an official relationship with Sound Cadence Studios. And that's another thing. How at this point should she? Will she have one? How? I don't know. Sound Cadence, you should fire her too. Discotech and Toei, that's another thing. You should be firing her too. After what they did, you should be firing them.
Multiple firing.
Fire Marissa. Seriously. I, however, was a freelancing contract and do not have any of those things. I am not speaking for Lenti anywhere in this post. You kind of did, though, but who could say what Lenti thinks? I'm sure I don't know. You just said it. But I will tell you what I think, and I think that Lovecom is a bad show about Risa Koizumi, an actual psychopath and all over useless freak. Dude, she may be dumb, but she's not useless. She actually does some cool stuff in the series, including saving.
I mean, isn't it supposed to be a slice of life story? What is she supposed to do?
Yeah, it's a slice of life romantic comedy.
Very silly.
Yeah, Risa is an inconsistently written awful character who does nothing but miscommunicate and cause problems. Like, you mean like a human being? She's not a Mary Sue.
No.
That's what, like, you want her to be a Mary Sue? What is your problem? She's actively abusive towards Otani the entire series. Bro, Otani and her have this like comedic dynamic. Just what is wrong? God. Every time she does something wrong, the narrative.
I can never pronounce it right. It's the Sunundry.
Sundere.
Yeah, Sundere. They're that's what they do. That's the whole thing. Is they're supposed to be in love, but some like people will call it
Sundere. It's Sunder or Sundere, but it depends. But yeah,
something
Sunder.
like that. It's when your girlfriend it's like shows her love for you by being angry at you.
Yeah, she is like pure Sunder. She really is.
Yeah, so I'm sorry, that's a trope older than all of us. I mean, in anime, that's Chi-Chi. She's constantly whacking Goku over the head.
Yeah, and Otani, unlike Goku, who's just like sweet and kind-hearted, Otani doesn't take her shit either. No,
he's a bit
Otani
like Vegeta.
Fights back against her. He like combats back against her. He's like, hey, quit being an idiot.
Right.
And I love it. I love it, dude. Otani is just amazing. I love him so much. Like I kind of want to protect him. He's just adorable. And
that's the idea.
He doesn't like being called adorable or cute though. He don't like that. He wants to be a manly man. Right. And that's why I respect him a lot. Even her family respects him a lot, and they're all taller than him. Every time she does something wrong, the narrative gaslights even by having the entire cast act like it's Otani's fault. Dude, Otani is an idiot. He is, dude. Some of this stuff is just mind-boggling with what he does. He's very, very clueless. He's very dense at times. So it's like, yeah, there's a reason why they're mad at him because he's dense. He doesn't realize that Risa has feelings for him. Duh. She will then yell at him until he gives her a gift. To make it up to her. That's what you kind of do because he's dense. You don't understand. Come on. I hate her terribly.
They don't get it. They don't know what romance is. They don't know what love is and the different shapes it takes. They just understand what they saw in a sitcom. Like How I Met Your Mother is supposed to be how all romances work.
I hate her terribly. This is Risa Koizumi call-out post. I could go on for hours about the stupid things Risa says and does. But she's an idiot. Even her brother calls her an idiot. Her brother actually said to Otani, he straight up said to him, like, dude, you don't deserve my idiot sister. But anyways, let's see. I could go on for hours about the stupid things Risa says and does, but I think the best example is probably the following. After 2.5 years of poorly wooing Otani, they finally start dating. Almost immediately afterwards, her coworker, a 14-year-old boy, tries to kiss her on the mouth while she's asleep. That's assault. And yeah, Otani gives him shit for it too. Like Otani thought that, so basically, she fell asleep at work at her part-time job, and Otani was going to pick her up And he assumed that, she was cheating on him for a minute, and and Risa ultimately, convinced him what happened, told him what happened. And he straight up went to the guy afterwards, and he said, bro, if you ever try something like that again, I'm going to whoop your ass. Like, when I say Otani doesn't take shit, he doesn't take shit.
Well, again, it's a slice of life anime manga, and it's supposed to be like that, where the masculine character is allowed to show that off, despite the majority of the time he's being picked on.
And
You
that's
remember
why
Tenchi Muyo?
that's why I get pissed off at you'll see in the stub. They got rid of the word masculine. You're not allowed to be masculine.
It's scary.
Otani sees this and assumes she's cheating on him, as it says here. But it's the misunderstanding is quickly explained, and all is well. So then, of course, Risa decides to go. She didn't. It's not a date when she goes out with him to this concert. She kind of gets guilt tripped, kind of. If that makes sense. So then, of course, Risa decides to go on a date with her assaulter out of pity. Yeah, out of pity. And did not tell her boyfriend about it. Well, yeah, that kind of happens. It's life. And then he discovers her doing this, so he breaks up with her, obviously. For some reason, in the next episode, the entire cast turns to Otani and is like, damn, dude, when are you going to forgive Risa? It's so fucking awful. Because he didn't hear Risa out, for one thing, and it's not like she straight up cheated on. I know it's a fucked up thing to do. It is. It's a fucked up thing to do that behind your man's back.
It's slice of life. You gotta have a little bit of drama.
On him, though.
So, did you want to go through your comparison?
Well, there's one other thing I do want to.
Oh, yeah?
When we get to episode 5, you know what? We'll go through the first part, but when we get to episode 5, then I'm going to read what he said. But I did want to give that prelim before we go there. So let's get to episodes 3 and 4, and then when we get to episode 5, then I'm going to read what Jello Apocalypse said about episode 5, and then we'll get into that comparison. Does that sound good?
Sure.
Okay, so the other thing I do want to mention, and then I'll say this. Something Jello Apocalypse does say is that every page of the script was approved by trans sensitivity readers. Okay, so here in this scene is Haruka. Haruka is Risa's childhood friend, and when he was younger, he was very much a sissy, as Risa says. But this is before this is just as they meet up with Haruka. So basically, in Risa's memory, 25% recollection, because her memory is not the best. In the anime, it says here, the kid's bullying him, says he's not a boy, he's a girl, because he's very feminine, because he's a mixed breed. And the dub, he says, crying like a little girl, Haruka. Damn it. And then they say he's probably got boobs. Are you hiding your face because it's all covered in cooties? It's like, no. And then Haruka's supposed to sit, and Haruka in the sub says, I don't have boobs, and the dub says, I don't have cooties. I guess they thought it was transphobic to tease Haruka this way. But then next, and this is like before meeting up with Haruka, they have Otani say, ask Risa, he's transferring here, and in the dub he's asked just by total coincidence. It's like what
Right. And
then Risa says, yep, starting in April, and the dub's like, yeah, I guess so, huh? I'm like, what? And then this is why I said this. If this was a if this was the transiest dub ever, wouldn't the localizers trans the femboy Haruka? So this is, I was so surprised this did not happen, because in the dub here, or in the sub here, it says, Risa said, not exactly. He used to be such a sissy. And in the dub here, it says, come on, just because he turned out handsome or whatever doesn't mean I could date him. Um, and the sign says Haruka in there. And he really was a lot like a girl. And then the dub here says, I just be thinking about how we used to play dress up and stuff when we were kids. And his friends were girls, is what it says in the subs. And then the dub says, so like if I went to kiss him or something, this is all I'd be really able to really picture. It's like, what happened? What happened to being the transiest dub? Huh? Jello Apocalypse? Oh, and also majority of anime journalists that covered this, and also what's the word? Localizer simps. You said that all of Jello Apocalypse's content didn't make the final cut. What is this then? Huh? Explain. Oh, and it keeps getting better. And this is with Haruka. And when Haruka is bullying Otani, and Otani says to Haruka, he said in the sub, he says, "Stop talking about me like I'm a pet," and because he's like calling him. He calls him a mystical creature in the sub, and in the dub, I think if I remember correctly, he calls him like a goblin, something, or like a carrot goblin, something like that. So stupid. And in the dub, he just flat out says, "I told you to stop calling me that," and this is what I was just like, what? Okay, so here in the sub, he says to Haruka, "Wow, you're really rude." In the dub, see, this is what I mean. It's like when I say when people say localizer fan fiction or commentary or something like even commentary, yeah, this is what they mean. Guess they're both wackos. That's a real damn shame. Why be slapped, Baldy? For the third time, surely you heard me. So the third time, stop. Surely you heard me. Like, seriously, these people, man, if you want to know the epitome of a botch localization, this would be it.
Of course.
Oh, you want to know another thing? The PC, the woke stuff. Yeah, the sexism has arrived. You should be more ashamed of yourself. You should be more ashamed of yourself as a lame shorty. Here's what you get here in the dub. Cool casual sexism. You're as sure as your own slightedness. Oh, it's only going to get better from here.
Hopefully.
Look, I brought you lunch. Turned into, since you like hanging out with weenies, I brought you hot dogs. You really are an annoying little runt, has turned to, and pray tell what are you doing here? Little runt should curl up in the corner and sleep with mommy. It turns into, this is a school for humans, but you appear to be a mysterious little creature. Otani, you so deserve better than that. And also, I can't stress how much I hate Haruka's voice actor. He's trying to be like, what was it? Because Haruka is half British. He's trying to the voice actor is trying way too hard to like be have like a British accent, and it's just freaking horrible, and I hate it so much. Where are we at? Okay, so this is
yeah, that's all.
Oh God. Okay, so remember when I said about gender? This is the first of many. So we have Risa here. Because Haruka considers Risa a hero because she saved him from bullies, and Risa is like, a hero is usually male too. And she says in the dub, she's just saying, "Man, I can't be a hero." Makes sense, seeing as how I'm not a girl. I look awful. It turns into I look awful in spandex.
Oh,
and then we get into
is that a Mount Lady reference?
You don't get none. You don't get seeing as how I'm not a girl, turning into I look like I look awful in spandex. You don't get that, nah. And then this right here, like I don't have the full line in front of me. I'm sorry, because freaking the website I was on is just a pain in the ass with subtitles. Like participating in a feminine event went into this. Well, you're about to take the first step. All you have to do is reach out and seize it, girl. Like, it's so stupid.
It's quite a roller coaster.
Now we're getting into episode 4. You know what? Because this is Seiko's introduction. What the hell? Why did you do that?
I didn't.
No, I'm talking about my Twitter page was being stupid.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh, I didn't know. I had nothing to do with it.
Sorry, it was my Twitter page being dumb. All right, because we're getting into the Seiko content, I gotta read the Seiko content here because it will drive me nuts. So there's also this. Okay, so this show has a myriad of other issues too, and the pacing is insane. For one thing, because we're getting into episodes 1 and 6, and yeah. Do I want to read this part? No, screw it. We're gonna go here. So let's get to Seiko. So Seiko is an M to F trans girl who is introduced in a trans panic episode. I would not say Seiko is a very complicated character. It's very complicated. It is not great. The original episode has a random extra out for her. The rest of the cast making fun of her for Otani for kissing a boy. Well, Seiko says that Seiko acknowledges that they are a boy. They are a boy born in the wrong body. They do acknowledge that. They do. But like they don't it's just weird. It's very complicated on how, and I even checked the manga on this and specifically the fan translation because I don't trust Viz. And it even says like that that Seiko is a boy, self-proclaimed girl. So that's why I'm like, it's very complicated. I don't know if you would call them like in a Tokonoko, because the Tokonoko in shoujo series are a lot different than like say Western media. And also this is why I said it came out in 2001, because in 2001 it was the Tokonoko were very, very different. Because this was around the time, this was, I would say, pre-Bridget in Guilty Gear, because Bridget was the one that started the full Tokonoko movement in Japan, where male cross-dressing became like a bigger thing. So that's why I'm like, that's why it's kind of hard to say Seiko, if Seiko is trans or in a Tokonoko. It's really, it's very, very complicated because of the cultural context and the time period. There we go. That's the wording for it.
Very good.
Because I know people are probably going to call me a bigot. It's like, no, you've got to look at the time frame, especially with Bridget, especially when in comparison to Bridget and Guilty Gear when she came out, because she was the one that started the movement. I'm sorry why I say she. I'm sorry. I'm tired. When he came out, there we go. When he came out, when Bridget came out, in 2001, he was the one that started the movement. In the Tokonoko movement. So it's really, really a complicated cultural thing. And that's why I'm just gonna not say if they are trans or not because of that.
Easy enough.
I hope that makes sense. That's why I was kind of annoyed. It's like, dude, I wouldn't get into that, Jello. You're being stupid. And gives Nobuko this extremely weird anti-trans. This is what I was like, it's weird anti-trans radar, which is in episode 4. That's why I'm like, yeah, we got to talk about this soon, before I get into it. Right off the bat, and let me read. And the original episode has a random extra out her, and the rest of the cast making fun of Otani for kissing a boy, and gives well, technically she assaults, Seiko assaults Otani. So why would you not mention that? And gives Nobuko this extremely weird anti-trans radar and makes her dislike Seiko right off the bat. The original series keeps this going by doing a second and then a third trans panic arc by pairing her with Kazuki, the guy who assaulted Risa. Yay! They do pair. You know what? I feel bad for Kazuki, because Kazuki gets tricked by a hooker from one of Risa's grandpa's hookers in the mix-up because
a lot happens in this show. Apparently, my goodness.
So what happened was Risa's grandpa. Remember what I was saying about Risa's grandpa wanting Risa to get with the tall guy because of his problem, with his problems.
Right, his sensitivity.
He was trying to get them to break up by having a hooker cheat, get a hooker hook up with Otani and break them up. That hooker ended up meeting up with Kazuki instead and seducing him.
Whoops.
And then Seiko ended up meeting with then Kazuki ended up saving Seiko from a pervert on the subway. And then Seiko ended up confessing to Kazuki. Kazuki, man, I feel so bad for him. He then also breaks up with Seiko because he is disgusted that she is trans. It's like, no, this shit happens all the time. Like, they're traps, man. That's the better way. You know what? That's the best way to describe Seiko. Seiko is a trap. Let traps be traps. Bridget was the one that led the trap movement, made traps really go mainstream. That's the best way. That has to be the best way to describe it, right? Yes.
Sounds unnecessary.
I think that's probably the best way to go about it, is the trap, that they are traps. Yes. I don't know why you do not, when this fucking mofo's trying to make traps a slur really pissed me off. In the anime, Haruka and Seiko are the best characters. Wait. Haruka, no wonder he's, this guy is a jackass. Haruka is not the best character. He is so annoying. Oh my God. I will give Haruka credit though. He is a pimp. He has like, at one point, 9 girlfriends at once. So he, for his girlfriend training, so to prepare himself to get with Risa. So yeah, I will give Haruka credit for that. But other than that, he's a jackass. And Seiko are the best characters. And every time they show up, the episode gets better. I don't know what the hell he's talking about, but in the original manga, Haruka has a running joke where he constantly uses a grabber arm to try and lift Seiko's skirt to expose. I'm going to use his. Deal with it. He says her, but I'm going to say his privates, which is a fucked up thing to do. He does it like twice in the manga, from what I know, from what I remember. Yeah, he does it twice. To do even when it isn't being done for transphobic reasons, and this awful gag is alluded to in the anime's opening, but thankfully it does not make it into the show itself, which is true. It does not. Okay, so the Seiko introductory episode is about Seiko's gender identity, so it's not like we could write it out entirely. It's somewhat, but we changed a lot. Oh, here we go. But we changed a lot of things to take the edge off. Nobuko's initial dislike of Seiko was changed from, I don't know, I don't like her. My translator is that did not make it. That did not. I can tell you right now that did not. My translator is going off to being jealous. Oh no, wait a minute. No, the transradar, that is not there. That was a load of bullshit. I don't know what he's talking about transradar. That's a little bullshit. The change is there, though. To being jealous, there's another cute girl on campus and not wanting to lose out to a freshman. And the sub Otani and Risa's end of episode reactions could generously be called confused, but they got the spirit about the whole thing. We rewrote those to be a lot more supportive of Seiko. That is still in there, and you will see it. Especially Otani's dialogue, which made it pretty clear he was still kind of disgusted by her. And Oz's performance as Seiko is so good that I cry every time while I watch it now, for good reasons even. And here's what I was saying here. I said earlier, Lenti passed this episode and its script by multiple trans sensitivity readers, and not only made sure to cast a trans person as Seiko, but also to cast as many of the trans actors who auditioned for her, as many as possible. I don't have an exact number, but I think the Lovecom dub is something like 20 trans / binary actors in it. It's one of the transiest anime dubs in existence, if not the transiest trans rights. But I can tell you right now, those change, and you are going to see it now. The changes he talked about, they're in it. Oh, they are. But first, let's get into some of the gender changes that are in here, and then we will that are in episode 4.
Well, before I just have to stop you right there. We do have a question from the chat. The eccentric banana would like to clarify: Blapper, whatever his name is, that guy was fired, right?
Yes.
Thank
Blabber was fired.
goodness. Can't get away with crimes anymore. Like I said in the thumbnail about this story, this should be a crime. It should be illegal to make these kinds of changes.
My cat agrees with you. Should be illegal. But episode 5 is in part 1 of the thread. Is in part 1 of the master thread.
Is this the master thread?
You're in my master thread right now.
Okay.
So you got to go to part 1 because I did episodes 3 through 5.
Right,
Part
right.
1. You got to click on it's. You got to scroll down and go there.
That
And
one?
then, yeah, I think
Okay.
just keep going down, and it should be, or no, it's you gotta go episode 4 first. That's right. It's episode 4. Yeah.
Still here.
Actually, let's start with the yeah, the first one I would like to start with actually. Because it's actually says where you've talked about it specifically is part 2 of 4 specifically is where I want to start.
Okay. Episode 4.
Right there. Yeah, part 2. Okay, so this is the one with Nobuko that he's talking about, that he referenced. In the anime, this is why I'm like, well, how is this? How is this an anti-trans radar? Please explain to me. Where Nobuko is saying she's pretty cunning. And how is Seiko outsmarting Nobuko by wearing a cute outfit and getting away with wearing a cute outfit on the first day of school, aka not wearing her school uniform? How is this an anti-trans radar? Please explain this to me. Instead of saying, she's pretty cunning, she just says in the dub, that's changed to, hang on a second, that's not fair. Then, this is the second part here. And here it is. This can't be. My pride won't stand for it. I didn't even get to plead my case when this happened to me. Please, how is this transphobic or an anti-trans radar? I would like to know this.
I don't hear any reference to it.
And then, why? They made Seiko sound like a complete bitch when she said this to the teacher. She said, I didn't mean you specifically in the sub. They changed that to, yeah, old wrinkled and bad hearing. I can say it again if you need me to.
Wow. That's quite a difference from the original intent. That completely changes the character's mentality, let alone how they execute themselves.
Yep, I know I screwed up on this next one, but I think at that point when I was making the slides, I was really tired because I was pulling it all nighter. So I cut off part of the image, and I'll fix it at some point. But for the next part, so something that's been happening in a lot of anime localizations, and apparently, according to a source, Discotech has been removing genders like feminine and masculine from their subtitles, from what I heard.
What?
That's what I've heard.
For the Jap. Okay. All right. Whatever.
So
We're
instead
Americans, we drink bleach.
Well, and this really sucks because similar to how Otani is, dealing with wanting to be more masculine. That's his thing. He just wants to, prove his masculinity at times because, he has a short complex.
Sure.
Same Risa. Risa wants to be more feminine because she doesn't feel feminine at times because she's so tall. And here she says, I guess I wish I was a little more feminine in the sub. And in the dub, she says this, I must not only work on having a beautiful exterior, but a beautiful spirit. This sounds like projection to me. This sounds like that. And then we have this threw me for a loop when Nobuko said this. So in the sub, you have her asking Risa, what's up? You suddenly sound like a teen drama. And then the dub, it says, what's going on with you? You sound like one of those dollar store self-help books.
No, that doesn't sound right at all. That sounds like one of those ocean dubs where they didn't have an American translator and they were just trying to like guess what was happening in the scenes. Japanese translator. They were trying to guess what was happening in the scenes.
This must be another thing that Jello Apocalypse must have thought was transphobic and maybe referring to in his post, because Risa said this about Seiko, was that this world has such feminine girls like her, and that's what she said in the sub. And the dub, he says, and adorable and confident. So you can't say someone is feminine. You can't be like a feminine girl, even if they are a trap, or if they are a femboy, or if they are a cross-dresser. You can't, or just a girly girl. You can't say that no more. Oh, trust me. Seiko says something to we're going to get to it. It says Seiko says something to Risa about having a better chance of getting Otani than her because she's a real woman, and that was removed.
Ah, yes, right, because we don't want to upset the not real women.
This was also changed too. So why must I be like this? And here I am. It was changed to, and here I am, all gawky and stocky. And gotcha is unfair is changed to, why, oh, why did I have to be born as a potato? Like, remember, they said they hated Risa. Oh, they were not kidding. So now,
a potato? How do you, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I get beanstalk. Beanstalk makes sense. Twig makes sense, but branch, but I don't, tree, describing yourself as a tree. A potato. I don't see it. I'm sorry. Again, this must be part of that projection. We're probably dealing with somebody who has the physiology of a potato writing these English dubs.
Marissa, maybe that's you. But now we're getting to episode 5. And this is what Otani says. And this is specifically on how he was talking about how Haruka sees Risa.
Oh.
God, this just reminds me of how much I love the manga art more than the anime art. Oh, God, I hate this art so much. He likes you as a hero, not a woman. And the dub says here, that's just glorified hero worship, not true love. You can't, like, what the hell?
That's a completely different statement.
And then you can't call yourself you can't have a character, a male character, call himself a heartbreaker. I'm such a heartbreaker got changed to, how can I resist such sparkling eyes? And then, in an instant, I conned an innocent lamb into being my love slave. Got changed to, I'm such a heartthrob. It's honestly no wonder I can't keep the girls off me.
Wow. This is homeschool bad. This is homeschool bad, dude. This is, wow.
You can't have pheromones in English dubs anymore either. No. So there's this too. The girl when Nobuko, I guess this is part of the anti-trans radar too that Jello Apocalypse was talking about as well. Can you stop distracting me? Seriously. Because it says here that girl has strange tricks up her sleeve. That got changed to, this girl is really going to put a wrench in my matchmaker plans here.
What?
And then she says like tricks. And the dub changed into what plans? Tricks to clutch a boy's heart got changed to focus girl look alive. Like, this is localizer fan fiction at this point.
It's a completely different statement.
And then this massive amounts of pheromones left from her body got changed to Seiko is about to sweep this game before you get off the bench, and it breaks my heart. What?
But isn't Seiko a dude?
They don't know Seiko's a dude yet.
Oh, so pheromones.
And then this got changed. The next one is like pheromones, and it got changed to you could drop it.
Yeah, so this is a completely different scene now. This isn't the author's
the same
original intent
scene.
at all.
This is the same
Well, that's what I
scene.
mean.
and
The
they changed it
localizers have
completely.
changed the scene.
Yeah,
This
they
is no
eventually
longer what it
changed
was
it.
in Japan. Yeah.
Yeah, and then it says a substance that my body completely lacks got changed to I'm not interested in playing any game you're talking about anyway. More like unfair. Oh my god, the pun. Oh my god, that pun in the sub. You're truly you're already playing sister, and you're in last place.
What?
I'm dead serious. This is in the dub.
Why does she talk like a wise black man, black character? You know, like that sidekick black woman that's like cheering the white woman that has no confidence on. This is awful.
This is why I've been telling people share I sprained my wrist for this, damn it. Seriously, like when people say that, oh, this is fine, it's because one clip that Jello Apocalypse was talking about in terms of the mangaka that was proven to be not in the final cut. They said, oh, see, it's fine. It's like, do not. No, it is not fine. I watched the whole thing. It is not fine. As soon as I saw some people post clips of the dub not being fine, I'm like, okay, now I really got to go through it and see what the hell is going on. I went through the whole thing. Obviously, and this is only the first part of 5. We're only in episode 5 of 20, well, only 23 of it says obviously it's 24, but not all the episodes are that bad. Obviously episode 24 was fine. Some episodes did get unscathed, but when we get to episodes 13 and 14, I'm telling you, those episodes were probably some of the ones that Jello Apocalypse directed. But now let's get to Altany can't get called a sexy fairy. He can't get called that no more. He gets called they say, hey, lover boy instead.
Wow. So lame.
Nah, who are you calling a sexy fairy? You can't get called that. No. I guess it's homophobic to get called a fairy.
As Telheim says here, all more reasons why I stick to the original subtitles over the dub. You're absolutely right, dude.
And also, this is, someone told me that it's that I think it's there's another series that I think they were saying the subtitles got it. No, it's another dub I have to investigate on High Dive got hit really bad too. It's going to be another fun project for me. But god damn it, I don't get paid enough for this. You have no idea. I don't get paid by the hour. I spent like 2 all-nighters doing this. Yeah.
One of the images didn't load, so the 4th one here is the only one that came up.
Oh, for the which one? For part 4 or 5?
Right after we left. Who are you calling a lover boy?
So for the next one, this one I was so surprised because you would think they would want to go in on a white man because it says here in the sub, what if I hit my face and got a butt chin like a white guy? And in the dub, it says, what if I hit my face on the ground and got a butt chin, you jerk? I think that... So that one I thought was weird. And then the last one, it says here, what a lucky guy you are. Yeah, wouldn't want to bum her out in the dub. But that one just baffled me. Why would you not... Because usually these woke people love to, like, go in on white people. So that one baffled the shit out of me. So now we're getting into the Seiko content here. So someone asked, or this is after they asked Otani if Seiko is his girlfriend. And Otani said straight up, she's not my girlfriend. And in the dub, he said, maybe, who asked? So this is some localizer fan fiction we got up in here.
Yep. That's another completely different scene from what was in the Japanese script.
Then there's this. And Seiko says, I maybe become his girlfriend in the future. And in the dub, she said, Seiko says here, you heard it here first, but let's keep it between us, Kay. I guess it'd be transphobic to say no. Even my cat agrees that it's transphobic to say no, right, Cat?
Gross.
My cat is being so silly. And then this I just laughed. It's so Nobuko says in the sub he's off to the infirmary. Okay, Otani. This is after he got hit. In the I think he got hit in the face or something with the ball. I can't remember off the top of my head. He's off to the infirmary with the voodoo cutie who kisses him. Oh, this in broad daylight because he got kissed. He got kissed by Seiko at this point. He's been lured to the infirmary by the adorable Seiko where they will be alone. Like
this is so Speed Racer. I expect you to go ooh ah oh after saying that. Like that's such a Speed Racer line. The adorable Seiko. A couple of these aren't loading up, so
okay, I'll keep going. So the next part here. So this is the reveal, the trap reveal.
Ew.
So let's keep. So okay, so that kid is really. So here's what it is. Since it's not loading, I'm going to read the sub first, and then you're going to get the dub. That kid is really cute, right? But we're all being fooled. His because I've only picked the key parts. So it's not going to be all. Full thing. But anyways, his real name is Seishiro Kotobuki. Yes, he's a full-fledged boy. And in the dub, you have this. This is kind of weird. This is kind of weird, but I was checking out the class roster and I noticed something. Instead, there's a boy named Seishiro Kotobuki. Could that be the same person? They won't just say he's a boy.
Right.
They're too scared. But here's the trans. Are they loading now or no?
They got a couple that are missing over here, but we're at 7 out of 12 on number 5.
Yeah, 7 out of 12. So if it's still not loading, then I'll just keep going the way I'm going.
Sure.
Okay, so we're gonna start with the sub and then we'll go with the dub. C'est la vie, Otani. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. I'm dying before I graduate. This is in regards to this is when they're making fun of him for getting kissed by Seiko. They're laughing at him too. You guys, this is no laughing matter. And now this is what the dub says. This is, of course, this is Reese's making fun of him. You big stupid idiot. Next time you meet a girl, maybe ask her about herself. It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. You guys are just being mean to me again. This is exactly the kind of crap I'm talking about. Like, come on. It's a trap. It does. In anime, it happens all the time. You're dealing with traps. You just erased it. You're just being so dumb. They're traps. It's a trap. It's a trap. Okay, it looks like most of it's loading. Just one's not.
Right.
Okay, so it's only one's not loading, whatever. So I'm just gonna keep going the way I'm going. So, but Seiko, you don't really look like a boy. Oh wait, not Seiko. Mr. Seishiro. I'm Seiko. This is I don't know if you would. Yeah, this could be the general reveal, I guess. And here in the dub it says, but Seiko, everyone sees you just as just another cute girl. So, oh wait. Do you prefer Seishiro? And then she says, Seiko, please. Yeah, I know it's being nitpicky on this one, but Nobuko's character is more in your face. So
sure.
That's why I was just kind of like, I just didn't feel like it was didn't suit her personality. But now this is where it really got interesting, okay? So this is a boy, and she's totally unfazed by what happened.
Again, totally different now. It means a completely different scene. Same animation, same sound effects, same music, same art. Completely different script now. Completely different character now.
remember what I was saying in regards to no, this isn't it yet, right? Hold on, let me make sure this is the scene. No, okay, it's a different scene. We'll get to it in regards to why Seiko says Risa has a better chance than her, but not yet. But this one here, and that if that's the case, isn't it even stranger that I have a crush on Mr. Otani? And this is because she was saying that Risa was saying that she thinks it's wrong for her to have a crush on Otani because she's too tall and he's short. In the dub, she says, I mean, think about it. If the way you're born dictates your love life, then what am I supposed to do?
These changes are so random.
And it says this, I don't think of myself as a boy at all. It gets changed to, and but people haven't always seen me for who I am, even if things are better now. Like, we're just not going to do this today. God just put this right here. This is when you know it's woke, okay? God just put me in the wrong, put the wrong parts on my body. Got changed to, I may have been born in the wrong body, but I can't let that stop me from living my truth.
Wow. Both of those are a little annoying, but that last one is way over the top. Like that's one of those things where like, yeah, that's you'd hear that in like a campaign slogan, You'd hear that in like
no. That is something you hear from like woke, that like a woke cult, like a trans woke cult.
Wokeite.
Like as soon as I saw that, I was like, oh God, you really had to do that. Really. Now this next set, I was blown away, especially by like the last ones, because it's like, dude, you had trans sensitivity readers do it was when Seiko was in the cheerleading outfit. When we get to the second, third, and fourth one, I was like, what the hell? Why would you get rid of that? That makes no sense. But this one, it changed. I wonder if he finds me disgusting too. I wonder if I came off too strong and scared him off. First of all, you assaulted Otani, Seiko. Like, yes, you kind of came off too strong when you assaulted him. But also, it's like, come on.
It's in keeping with that identity. But yeah, that's, yes, you're right. Too strong.
But this is what really like confused the hell out of me. They changed. It's such a cute outfit. I want you to be the first to see it. To, yep, I'm a cheer girl now. Since now I joined the squad so I could be closer to you. Why would you change that of all things?
Such a strange. It's like I said, they're so random with this.
How is that not creepy?
I guess maybe they're trying to steer away from these teenagers making declarative statements about their bodies, maybe.
Well, it says it changed. Isn't it cute to cheer you on? Are you not allowed to be cute anymore? Like, what is wrong? But this final one though, it obviously, even though falling for a boy when you are one is such a difficult issue, got changed to, even though she's constantly having to deal with people not understanding her. Like, have you thought that maybe there are feminine gay boys that could probably relate to Seiko and you just took that away from them? That sucks for them, because they struggled through that. You took that away. You took that relatability away from them, that representation away from them. That really,
I wouldn't even say that. Really, it's like the boxing manga guy said, it's the author's intent. The author's intent was for it to go like this. The author's intent was for Seiko to be expressed this way. And these people are deliberately inserting politics and woke talking points. I'm surprised they're not talking in hashtags and emojis at this point.
If they did, it would be so off, because this is in 2001 and they are using flip phones in the series.
And they're saying things like "my truth." Wow. Okay. That is extremely cringe right there. That's extreme.
A lot of the woke stuff, when we see woke stuff in here, because like, and yeah, there's a 2-year time skip, I think, as well. Or yeah, because so it's like 2001, like early mid 2000s. So yeah, seeing this kind of dialogue here is just like, oh, huge, what the fuck. But then now, remember what I said about, masculine and not just feminine, masculine was getting removed. So we got, wouldn't you rather go for someone more masculine changed to wouldn't you rather go for someone less Otani-ish? Like, come on. But Mr. Otani is plenty masculine. He's cool. But him being Otani got changed to, but him being Otani is the best part of him, part about him. Well, yeah, Otani is cool, but Otani wants to be, he's masculine. He wants to be masculine anyway. He wants to be seen that way.
Well, and this is the other part, is that they're not, they're wiping out a very important recognition that she has for him. And they're because of their size difference that is so played up in this and so hammered on, her recognizing this about him is lost now. Because the way that the dub reads is he's like a pet to her. The weird little golden retriever that always brings back the stick. It's the best part about him.
Yeah, that's what she sees. That's the thing that she recognizes him in the as masculine, as a man. She wants to see him as a man. She doesn't want to see him as a short person. No, she sees him beyond that. That's what's great about their relationship. He sees beyond her height because Otani said he would never date someone taller than him, and it was vice versa for Risa, and they overcome that. That's like, and they see each other as a man and a woman.
Now, we do have a question from the Eccentric Banana. He asks, when did this anime dub come here?
The anime dub actually came out recently. I would say, I think within the last couple of years, I think, or this year. Hold on, let me see. When did you come out, Lovely Complex dub? It's a great question.
October 17th, 2023.
Yeah, so yeah, within the last year. So yeah.
Yep.
But
so there you go.
Let's keep going here. So this is another problem here. I thought someone sensitive like him would accept me even if I'm a boy. Got changed to I thought someone sensitive like him would accept me for who I am and try to understand me. Remember, this is in the early 2000s. We were not dealing with trans people. Trans people did exist. Let's be real. Trans people did exist, but they weren't doing shit like this. No, they were just trying to live their life. They just wanted to be left alone. They're not doing. Let's be real.
The author's intent on this is meant to show the struggle of.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not meant to highlight the politics of the situation. Again, these are things that aren't comfortable to talk about, and the Japanese are known for confronting these sort of things in unexpected places, like an anime like this. Regardless of representation or who feels like they're being left out or left in on this, it's the author's intent that Seiko is expressed like this. I haven't watched the anime, but I'm picking this up from what you're showing me here, is that they've deliberately changed this character into a political archetype when they were really meant to underline the perhaps confusion or desperation of youth when you feel either left behind or that you have a different taste. And you're lost in that, I guess. Again, the Japanese have a different culture than us to begin with around this whole topic, so it's a lot to try and unpack. I don't understand why they didn't come straight through with the translation like this right here. Like you've got it right here in the black and white. There's no reason to change that statement.
Yeah, the sub did just fine. They're just and Seiko. I would imagine Seiko means a lot to people struggling with their identity, well, even with their identity, or people that just want to be true to themselves and don't care about this kind of stuff, care about the politics of it all. You know what I mean? They just want to be accepted for who they are and not this stupid shit. If that makes sense. But then there's this. He thinks he must think I'm gross. Got changed. I guess it's wrong for someone like me to have feelings for Otani. Like, come on. Oh, now this, I was just blown away. But
No.
but you want me to be your boyfriend, then we'll have a problem. Got changed to. But as far as me being your boyfriend, that's something I'm not ready for. Yeah, Kitty, that's right. It's that narrative that if you deny being with the trans person, then you're transphobic.
Yeah, it's big brain, for definitely galaxy brain stuff.
Yep, and then you got let's see, and also got changed to so you know we can just go back to being friends again, and then this you look kind of cute as a cheer girl got changed to you could go back to giving me hugs and stuff, but warn me.
So you're okay. So this person has boundary issues to begin with, and okay, all right.
Well, because he's uncomfortable because Seiko is a guy, and he's not attracted to guys.
These statements mean things completely different in the Japanese culture than they do over here in the U.S. This young Otani isn't expressing to Seiko that he is interested in him in any way, shape, or form. The Japanese are non-confrontational. So in the event of for the sake of saving someone else's emotions or kind of protecting them, patting each other, Otani's obviously trying to be very gentle with Seiko by complimenting that cheerleader thing, even though that's not how he really feels. You'll see that a lot in youth anime, especially that isn't so much shonen oriented. When it's slice of life youth anime, you'll see a lot of like non-confrontational statements like that aren't meant to be like taken on their face. So,
but remember what I said about the real woman stuff? This is it. This is the final part of this portion of the thread that I did. The first part of my thread is this: Miss Koizumi, you're a real girl, unlike me. Got changed to Risa. You still have a chance. It's supposed to be have a chance at being Otani's girlfriend. So you have a real chance of becoming his girlfriend. Then got changed to I ruined my chance by coming on too strong. I'm dead serious. You can't include that Risa is a real woman. She has a chance of being Otani's girlfriend because she's a real woman. You can't include that no more because trans. It's this dub is just insane. You thought that Jello Apocalypse is the statement from Jello Apocalypse's manifesto that stuff wasn't there. Yep, it is there. Where is part 2 of this? Oh no, I'm not that. Where's my master thread? Hold on, I have like, or no, I could do it this way. Hold on a second. Oh. I thought I had it in front of me. Oh, God damn it. Why are you doing this to me, Twitter? It's being a pain in my butt. So, all right, so let me see.
You're very right, DZ3. And he says, well, it is because most of us are seeing it in real life and realize that these people need help. And some of us are weirded out by it, which again, it's perfectly fine to do that. This is not attempting to change anybody's mind about that. It's just what happened in this anime. And the reality of the situation is that these translators these localizers went above and beyond their job and then bragged about it.
Yeah, okay, now I'm back. Okay, so I'm ready. All right, so now we're getting into part 2 of this, which is 6 through 12. And then part 3 is going to be, I think it's either part 3 or part 4 is the worst. I'm sorry, this is going to be really long. If we have to stop, let me know, Cider, and we could do it finish the rest next week. It's up to you. I have all the time in the world.
Well, we might want to wrap up part 2 here and then pick up with 3 and 4.
And you want to
keep on with the.
You want to do like do part 2 here and then do 3, 4, and 5 next week?
Something like that, yeah. Mingle it in with the news, yeah.
Okay. Well, I am warning you. Like I would say 3 and 4 are really, really long. That's why I'm like, but anyways, so here's the thing with what happens in a lot of what's the fosterization? There we go. Fosterization is basically a term that came out of the Ghost Stories dub. Thanks to that, Stephen Foster, because he botched so many dubs with memes and all that. That's what this is a classic example of. So you still think you could fool yourself, got turned into, we've been at this for 6 episodes. Yeah, you're going to see that a lot. Just go ahead and tell the truth, and I'll be glad to help you, got turned into. Just do yourself and everyone else a favor and admit that you like him already. And then we got this. Let's all pull together to help make Risa's unrequited love come to fruition. Got changed too, because as we've seen, this is going nowhere unless we help them out because she's hopeless. I'm telling you, these Jello said they hated Risa, and they were not kidding. But I'm fine by myself. Got changed to no freaking way. I'd rather die.
Neat.
They hate her. Oh, again, this is in 2001 this took place in. They changed, oh really, then let's go Nako and Suzuki to come on, let's go, bro squad. So cringy.
Rose Squad with flip
Yep.
phones. All right.
They took the, oh God, this. You don't want him to take legal action. You want loving action. Got turned into, why are you making this difficult? You're ruining everything. Why they do this is just, I don't know. It is so dumb. Speak for yourself. This is payback. This is now we're getting to let's be real. This is some projection and localizer fan fiction. You should be happy I brought you anything at all. An eye for an eye, and got turned and didn't want me to sit with you. Like, it's just. Oh my God, I can't with this stuff. I got turned, like, how do you turn? Are you losing your mind or something to, are you an alien or something?
Well, again, they don't want to insinuate that there's any type of mental disorder because we can't even have a passing statement about that in jest or not in a non-judgmental sense. They're very afraid of like, oh no, if this character suggests that another character has a mental disability or illness, all of these people will jump off a cliff simultaneously.
Well, I think that's where you're wrong.
Horrible.
I think you're wrong on that because they changed, can't put my finger on it, but you're too calm or something too. The real Risa would have torn my head off it after a crack like that one.
Well, again, they can't suggest that there's like multiple personality disorder. When you read into that those two statements together, it's a suggestion that there's a multiple personality disorder. If you're a sensitive Tumblrite, unless if you're a normal person that's watching his anime, they say, "Oh, he means you're behaving differently than usual." That's all that means. Very silly.
Oh, and then it gets better. This one is just baffling. How do you turn over and over again to be such a dumbass?
Right. Well, they went with the expression.
Then it keeps going. I'll help you, but you need to do some of the work yourself too. There, you're pretty dang hopeless, but I'll help you out. Like, I'm telling you, the hate for Risa in this dub, it is real.
Apparently.
Yeah, I mean, they go with Nobuko. They use Nobuko. Nobuko, I feel like, is a self-insert based on what we see throughout this entire dub. Nobuko has got to be a self-insert.
Like
yeah, because you get them force the dynamic change to same as everyone else. Am I a monster? This is because they're talking about like how they're going to try and get Risa to confess to Otani, who's dense as freaking hell, I swear. up until this point. Got changed to you're screaming. There you go, whispering and gossiping. Got changed to calm down. We're just going to think that you are like. You surpassed anxious and crossed over to downright suspicious. Got changed to maybe some of the salt water got into your brain and poisoned your head or something. Like so much projection, man. It is just okay. As I said here, be prepared for pure localizer fan fiction. I'm gonna read this. Okay, this is gonna be the one where I gotta read the sub first, and then I'll read the dub on this. That reminds me, I guess you did. The tree reminds me, I guess you did. She couldn't care less about what I'm up to. I didn't say nothing about a tree. And then the dub, because you look more like an indentured worker. Indentures worker, you say? I don't have dentures. My teeth are nice. Didn't say anything about fake teeth. What the hell is this?
Some random thing that popped into their head to make the lips match up. I'm telling you, it's like Speed Racer every now and then. I'm expecting them to go ooh ah oh in order to fill out the mouth movement.
And then remember what I said that we are gonna get like that, like the bad attempts at Katama, or I should have said that earlier. The wannabe Katama fuckery, like the fourth wall commentary, the self insert. There's this with Seiko. The bloodlust is piercing my skin. It's changing out. What's wrong? What are they both on fire for? You know, this is not funny. This is just stupid. Like, come on, man. Is it? Yeah. She's basically Risa is just calling Otani a moron water flea, stupid water flea, because he's just so freaking dense and stupid. He is so dense because he doesn't realize that, you know, because he's trying to ask who ask Risa like who is the guy that she, you know, has a crush on. And she's been trying to tell him that it's him. And, you know, she's hinting at it. Like, he's shorter than her and all that. And on the basketball team, and he still is not getting it. And he's so stupid. And, like, that's why she's calling him that. And everyone, even people were telling him that. And even, I think even Nobuko said, yeah, Nobuko told him that. And he said that, you know, he laughed and said that, you know, she was joking in front of Risa, and that's why that's why like all of them are pissed at him. But anyways, why does he think I'm a joke? What's wrong with me? And then in the sub it goes, I understand, so please stop. Don't say that, Risa. I'm going to cry. Like, come on, just they missed the point. They missed the point because she literally does in the manga. She does call him all that. She calls him a moron and a water flea and all this stuff. She does. So them doing this is so stupid. And Nobuko is like all of us in the manga when you read the manga, because it's so frustrating because Otani is that dumb and that dense because he just can't freaking see it. How much that Risa wants to get with him. And even when you tell him to his face that she wants him, he doesn't understand it. You want to punch him in the face too. It's like, God damn it. But anyways, I can't stand to watch it and any more of this. Got changed to I didn't mean to get so upset. And then how do you change? What should I do to my heart? Is just beyond me.
She having a heart attack?
No, because well, like that's what I want. Her heart's beating fast, I guess, but like, or no, her heart's breaking. But yeah, maybe just a little. It's hammering. Got changed to it's hammering inside my chest.
Sounds like she needs a bare aspirin immediatay. Sit down.
Well, see what I mean? What she says here. I wish he'd start to see me as a girl and not a comedy partner. But somehow I feel like this, what the dub did doesn't make sense. Because what she wants, as it says here, she just wants Otani to see her as a, you know, as a girl and more than just more than just, you know, his comedic partner, like, you know, just a friend. And it's just so frustrating that the dub did this. It's like, you missed the point.
Well, well, no, they didn't. They rewrote it because it makes her sound like she needs him or she is desperate for him, and we cannot have this. Women do not need men. Men are pets, remember?
That's
Guys,
true.
those of us
Oh my
that
God,
stand
no,
up to pee to be chained down, you see.
Anthony did say that he doesn't want to be treated like a pet, and they got rid of that. And he said
Mhm.
that he didn't want to be treated like a pet in the sub to Haruka, and they got rid of that.
I'm willing to bet that if you talk to Blabber long enough, you'll find out he's a misandrist. So
Probably. But you can't even say that you want to be a normal girl either. They changed it to being a joke is better than nothing. Like, why? Why would you do that? Is stupid. What's
because
wrong
they don't
with
want to
wanting be
define what a normal girl is. They want
A
you to be
joke.
you and whatever you are, boy or girl.
This one I just thought was stupid. My whole family overslept.
My alarm overslept.
It got changed to my alarm overslept too. Like, why would you change that? That was dumb. But oh yeah,
Family
this
unity
is
and
the only one. There were some episodes where there really wasn't any changes. Remember what I said? Some of these episodes, a lot of them got unscathed, came out unscathed. To me, what that means is either Blaber or Jello Apocalypse didn't direct them, or they or the supervisors actually did their goddamn job and like caught some of them. So that's why I'm like, okay, some of them got out unscathed, but like this is still stupid right here. Like seriously, they're back the way that seriously they're back. Or no, I'm sorry, the way they back to the way they were. Do you understand what tack means? Got changed to, oh great, now we're back to square one. It's like the last 8 episodes didn't even happen. This is projection.
Why did they keep breaking the fourth wall? Like the original anime is not doing this.
They think it's funny, and they think they could be as cool as Gintama. They are not. Yeah,
and that steals away from the moment. You know, again, like the original author must be completely livid about this.
I don't think they know about it.
They will.
I haven't tagged them, so they probably don't. I have to find their Twitter.
Guess you got to get on that then, right?
The only way the authors know about this stuff is because I tweet them about it. At the time, it's because I actually notify them what's happening. I notify them. I figure out how to. I'm like, instead of bitching and complaining like the majority of people do on Twitter, I actually do something about it. How do you think oh cat, that hurts, that I think I turned my childhood girlfriend in situation got resolved? Because I sent the article that I wrote to the mangaka and the publisher, and it got done. Because Seven Seas was not going to do anything. They made it clear they weren't going to do anything, so I went higher up, and that's something I've learned in life: is you don't deal with the peons, with the pawns. No, they don't do shit. You got to go as high up as you can. That's what I've learned in life. But anyways, so this is localized or fan fiction, okay? So they changed this story. I got to do it like this. They changed this from "I live in an apartment, so I can't take you." But you know, when Nobuko's talking about how she met her boyfriend, she was making this up too. I'm sorry. Speaking of, Kitty, you should be here for this. I'm sorry, Kitty. There's only so much a tree muncher like me can do. You really do like milk, don't you, buddy? Got changed to, I'm a real sap for cute cats like you. This is localizer fanfiction at its finest. Like, and then a bunch of rough guys have you surrounded, and the gang boss and a bunch of rough punks from rival gangs came out of nowhere and threatened me. And then it got and Risa not buying this, let's be real. And then Haruka changed her story to, I put a love letter in his shoebox. Got changed to, and then Hikichi, her boyfriend, beat them up at the tree truck. Like, When this is like the epitome of localizer fan fiction, and it is just. That's why when people are like, "Oh, there's none of Jello Apocalypse's stuff got into the stuff in Jello Apocalypse's post got into the final cut." No, the dub is fine. No, you are wrong, and that's why I get annoyed when like I see like views on the tweets, for example, and they're like low. I'm just like, dude, no one's seeing this. I do all this work and no one sees it, and I don't get appreciated for all the shit I do. It's very annoying. Like the only person that knows all this stuff. But anyways, I'm sorry. That's just a little tangent because I'm very tired. Anyways, you got cram school. That changed to then just say that because that's where this is, after Riza finds out the truth. Then there's this. Without any drama, you and Suzuki miraculously wound up together. It got changed to this. And Yuichiharu, you and Ryoji ended up getting together by the end of the first episode in my anime. I don't know why they love breaking the fourth wall like this, but they do.
I'm glad he got fired. I hope he has more luck being a barista. That's clearly.
Why isn't Marissa fired? The one that's the head writer of this anime. Why aren't the supervisors fired? The ones that approved this this script. Why did Discotheque and Sound Cadence deleted their statements? Why? Why isn't this Blu-ray being recalled? Why are they not doing that? Why are they not apologizing to the author and to Toei for what happened? Why isn't Toei issuing a statement?
Everybody's hiding under a rug.
Mm-hmm. You should be thanking God every day for your good fortune got changed to God smiles on you, but I have been punished for my tallness, the Tower of Babel. They really hate Riza, like, for real. Dude, this the boob plan is just this really does happen. Like Nobuko is just telling Riza like how to use her titties to get freaking Otani on Christmas, and it just doesn't work. It's so freaking dumb.
Awkward on both sides of the Pacific.
Exposing the boobs you kept wrapped up in at Christmas. You seriously need to show off those New Year's titties.
She talks like a "you go girl" black sidekick. It's very annoying.
Oh, it gets there. A lady shouldn't say raunchy words like boobs. Got changed to, okay, listen, the titty metaphor of yours is really not working. You can't even say be ladylike no more. But
I like
it
how
is
her
not
face
working.
turns into a shovel when she says that.
What is with that lack of determination got changed to excuse me on the voice of reason? I'm telling you, Nobuko is a self-insert.
Mm-hmm.
A maiden's heart is full of ups and downs. Gets changed to, oh, excuse me for being reasonable for once. You can't be a maiden. Well, you somewhat can't be a maiden no more because, wait, hold on. Yeah, I think that other self-insert one has maiden in there. I can't remember. We'll see. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm really tired. But then we got that. This one makes Riza look like a dumbass, and I just can't believe it. I can't believe they did this. They changed Riza asking Otani to teach her how to play basketball to, hey, what is this thing? A bouncy thing.
Wow. So she's tall and has no idea what a basketball is.
Yeah, the dub made her even dumber. Like, she knows what a basketball
it's because they're
is.
shallow liberals, and they went, well, we can't have the tall girl know what basketball is. That would be stereotypical. She's tall, so she knows what basketball is. We have to make her dumb about basketball. Otherwise, we're being stereotypical. I can hear it in the boardroom right now.
See, and Otani just says in response, I'll teach you to play basketball later. And the dub says, whatever the heck is up with you today, just cut it out.
I don't know.
Then there's this. When I'm locked in a closet with him, all he does is laugh at me gotcha. Because Otani, when he hooked up with his first girlfriend, they were locked in their middle school's storage closet, and they got together, and the plan is to do the same thing with Risa and Otani. And yeah, it's very interesting how this happens. It's no contest when I'm locked in a closet. It's just awkward and weird. Why are you doing this, dumb? I'm sure an awkward comedian can't hold a candle to his sweet ex. Why then Dove here? Why wouldn't he choose the girl he was head over heels about? This fucking dub pisses me. I forgot how stupid this dub is.
Well, hey, Carl Carlson's right there with you. They say this makes Dragon Maid the Dragon Maid butcher job look like a masterpiece.
Oh, it
Shaking
does.
my head in despair.
Oh, it does. It gets worse, dude. It gets worse. This is only just as I said, there is 5 parts to this, and we're only at part 2. It is bad. Look at this. I mean, he turned Burn, tell me more to don't speak to your mother like that. And because there's a joke prior to this where they're like talking about how they're treating Otani is kind of treating her she's treating Otani like an idiot stepson, and he's she's treating Otani like an idiot stepson, and he's treating her like a stepmother. There we go. Something like that. Okay, so shut up. I didn't ask you to speak. Change to geez. I try for this ungrateful family. Like, oh God, it's so dumb. It's all now this I thought was weird. Like, here's the thing when it comes to dubs. For certain things, like if we're talking about like nicknames like Chan and Ichi and stuff like that, when it comes to dubs, I can give some leeway to that. But like when you change like foods and stuff like this, like food analogies like this, that's where I gotta draw the line, because that is this is ridiculous. You're changing. It's almost as if his heart is a ramen booth on the other side of a thick fog. It's like he's some weird little species of bird, and I'm some other different species of bird, and neither of us speak English. Like,
This is very lazy.
This is just stupid.
The Japanese line is like poetry.
Yeah,
It's awkward. It references ramen booths, but it's like poetry. She's comparing him being distant to her, and the other one, it's just a joke. We're Japanese. Like I said in the thumbnail for this, these people are racist. They have to sit there and think we're superior to the Japanese. That's the only way they go about doing this.
I mean, you're changing so hazy to such as life, but when there's a part of the localization when they get to the mighty content, which is a teacher assistant, and they talk about games. What they say about games, because Risa's a gamer. It is nasty. But there's this. I'm just like, what the fuck is this? So they made up a freaking term and put this in here. So unless you're fine with other girls giving him chocolate, because they're gonna make Valentine's Day chocolate, for Otani. That's fine. You don't have to give him chocolate if you're okay with dying in that hole all alone. It's like, what are you talking about? I don't want that either. What the fuck is the lonely hole? They made up the goddamn term for this. I don't know.
It's a Tumblrite statement. The Forever Alone meme, the Tumblrite equivalent is the lonely hole.
Why are you putting a Tumblr meme in a 2001, it's a 2007 anime technically, but an adaptation of a 2001 manga?
Because these people didn't care. They had the translation that makes perfect sense, and they decided to put their own problems, their own worldview into this. It's like Blabber said.
Then it gets even better. Otani, which this is true. Otani already knows I like. Otani is just stupid and doesn't know about Risa liking him. Or no, I think at this point he does, if I remember correctly. Yeah, at this point he does. Otani already knows I like him. I've given him so much time to think about it, and he hasn't said a word. There's nowhere I can run or hide if I give him true love chocolate. They changed this to maybe I should go in the lonely hole and become a lonely soul. Like, what the fuck is this?
I imagine it's a copy and paste from somebody's Tumblr post from 2007. They think they're clever.
Oh my god.
This could be somebody's complete Tumblr. They're just copy and pasting into the dub script. It's just somebody's Tumblr, day-to-day posts.
Then it gets even better. They're changing. Okay, I'm gonna do it this way. Here's the sub. Well, duh. Did you really think you could fake him out with obligatory chocolate again? But it's like asking him out all over again. No can't. Yes, you can. Okay, now let's get to the dub here. It says no. The dub says, "No way, girl. Just give him the chocolate and put a ribbon on this whole disaster." But don't you think he's probably getting annoyed by my constant pestering? Who cares about his stupid feelings? Like, this dub is so stupid. Dude.
It feels very intersectional feministy. That's for sure.
Oh my god. But how do you change how do you get ugh, I can't from but how should I do it? Like, it's two completely different sentences.
Carl Carlson says this dub sounds like it was written by somebody who was senile. My brain.
Marissa Lenti and Cholo Apocalypse are probably senile. They probably are. I would not be surprised. Let me see. Okay, so you got this here from Otani. He says in the sub, "What a lively pair!" And do they even realize classes in session? They changed this to looks like they're scheming something. And there goes my afternoon.
Wow.
And I said for this next one here, I said so I thought they made Haruka freaking Yamcha at this point. They did. That sounded very not like, hold on, let me make sure I'm right here. Okay, so that sounded very not like I carish. And this is in regards, oh please, I'm dating very many different types of girls at once to boost my masculinity for the sake of because remember I told you he's dating like 8-9 girls at one point for the sake of the day when Risa will finally be mine. I'm saying it is, and these girls are loyal. It's like the 100 girlfriends type of harem. They are like a family. It is insane. So here's what the dub said. More like third or fourth, but by training with weighted clothes, I get dating experience sevenfold. I just like, so I'll achieve my final form before we obliv. I was hard to hear what he was saying, so I went with that. It's just like, what? It gets even more insane. At least, and Risa says here, the next part, at least date one, then one at a time, won't you? Oh yeah. Don't make me say any more. I'd rather forget it. Yeah, this, and then let me get to this part, and then I'll get to what Seiko says here. What the dub says, because yeah. And I'm sorry, what? And also what? Let's talk about something else. How about the Mets? Like, why are the Mets coming here? Like,
why would a Japanese person bring up a New York baseball team? Baseball is very popular in Japan. They have plenty of their own teams to reference.
Yes.
And she's a gamer.
Like, why is baseball being mentioned, period?
Pain.
Like, if you're going to mention anything, you could mention, well, no, basketball by trigger or two, but then there's this that really got me, and then we're going to get into the Seiko content. The next scene is Seiko's content here. Is Risa's talking to Seiko here. You of all people would understand the woes of a woman's heart, and they changed it to Seiko. You understand me. It's not so easy to walk away because she's broken. Her heart's broken because of Otani. And they changed this part here for Seiko, because Seiko says, I have a woman's heart. She straight up says this. And they changed this to, of course, I do. Go to him, Risa. Now, here's the thing. Remember, they have trans sensitivity readers here, and they approved every page of the script. Wouldn't this be considered transphobic? Because you would be technically saying that Seiko is trans by these people, by, you know, these people's logic. You'd be basically saying Seiko is trans. So why would you get rid of this line and basically be transphobic, right? Wouldn't this be transphobic by the cultist logic, Cider?
Well, the situation they're probably pulling this is, again, another rabbit out of a hat. It's probably the fact that they don't want to get into what is a woman. They probably had a good laugh about that, and that's why they changed it. You got to understand, these people seem entirely random with what they're doing, and it seems like they're all sitting around talking about the script, and somebody goes, oh yeah, there might be somebody under this hashtag that gets mad about that. You probably better change it. It's
well, like
stupid.
then Haruka. Well, they probably did this because they Jello Apocalypse says he likes Haruka, but Haruka like straight up says, "Shut up, Seishiro," and Seiko says, you know, corrects him and says that's Seiko. Instead, they put, "Don't encourage this," and "Shut up, you're heartless." Like, if you are trying to make this the transiest English dub ever, why would you get rid of something that would, in their minds, by their logic, be considered trans, like pro-trans?
Because what they want to do is they want to remove any stigma around it. So what they're implying in the show throughout Seiko's entire existence is everyone accepts Seiko by their declaration. This character, this guy as a woman, everybody in the dub version accepts that. Whereas in the Japanese version, they are constantly dead naming him. And so this is why the sensitivity readers are like, why don't you just write the anime so that everybody accepts Seiko? It would be very traumatizing to viewers to see a character have to constantly remind other characters to not dead name them. And that it's so political. They can't get through the script. So political.
And it only gets worse. I'm telling you, it only gets worse. And they keep changing. They change the total intent. I mean, look at this. They changed idiot. You're wrong. What made you say that? To free chocolate is good on any day. Shut up. And now this too. Like, how do you thanks to Haruka, I'm even more determined now. And after Haruka's meltdown in homeroom, there's no reason for me to be nervous anymore.
They're trying to make her into some late 2000s girl boss CBS primetime comedy girl. There was a sitcom about two moms. The mom and then the daughter had a daughter. So there was like 3 generations of women living in the same house, and we were riding along with the daughter that was the mother. I forget what it was called, but this reminds me a lot of that, is that they're trying to make this into like a primetime sitcom comedy character in America, and it just doesn't sit because that's not what this character is.
Oh God. And I feel like they're just trying to make Risa into, obviously they think they can write her into a better character, as Jello Apocalypse said. But it really hurts her because she's not Risa. She's a kick-ass character. She doesn't take shit from anybody in the manga especially. But I mean, look at this. You're changing nowhere to run or hide from me to like, I can't possibly go any worse than that. Like, look at that. She's overcoming like her fear to go face Utani and go face her feelings and face the possible of getting rejected. Well,
again, they're completely missing the chocolate now, because now it's just weird Valentine's Day chocolate these girls are taking way too seriously. They've lost the symbology of it in this ham-fisted political agenda they put in.
Yeah, you can't. It's not even honest to God true love chocolate anymore. It's just I'm just gonna give him the chocolate no matter what. It can't be true love chocolate in a freaking shoujo anime of all things. But this, but this is the final part here, and this is for episode 12. And I just was like, you can't even call someone an extremist anymore. They changed it to you think this is considerate of all things.
Mm.
It's just wild. This dub is wild, and it only gets wilder from here. I swear to God. I just can't believe it. Like the next part, for example, for part 3, I only covered 2 episodes because 13 is 7. I have 7 parts, right? And then 14 is 9 parts. So it's that bad. And I would
they
say,
rewrote an episode.
Like I would say episode 14 is the most offensive of them because I think 14 has the one about this one is the one that's offensive because it goes into offending this is the one that goes into attacking gamers or virtual guys specifically because I was pissed off about it because it says here in particular what is so great about liking and this is in regards to Mighty. What is so great about a snobby guy like that to don't regress back into liking virtual guys?
Huh.
Because she thinks Mighty looks like a virtual guy.
Oh, okay.
But there's one thing. I think it's in here. Is it? Oh, there's this one. Is this?
Are you sharing it?
It's on it's episode 14, part 7, or we could, if we wanted to start off, actually, you know which one we should start off here? I feel, part of me feels like I think we should save or episode 14 for next week, because God, there's so much to talk about that one.
That's probably for the best. Coming up on 3 hours, and it's
we got part 3, that thread it needs to be saved for next week because this one, like, there's a commentary on how on animators need to be paid more, that they're underpaid. There's an attack on as I said, on video gamers. I call them obviously husbandos. There was the attack on the what was the other one thing I said too? Oh, there was they got rid of because Mighty is an American, and they got rid of the fact that he's an American, which I thought was weird. But yeah, that's why I'm like, dude, there's a lot. There is a freaking lot to go in here. And then, you know what? I'm going to conclude it with this one here, because this is the one that I think this will be a good preview here. They changed this here. That may have been poetry to you, but to me, it was gamer psychobabble. Got changed to, oh, cool, when in real life, that's gross, and those video game boys would go to jail. That's what these localizers are. They're those people. They're those psychos that can't separate fiction from reality. And it's even mentioned in Jello Apocalypse's post, too.
Okay.
That's a good way to conclude it. This. And I know, I got to do
it's quite a mess, that's for sure.
Yeah, I got to do a video on my channel on this whole thing. It is going to be a very fun, long video. Hopefully, it's not going to be 2 hours like the Funimation one or Crunchyroll one I did. Oh my God!
But we're coming into 3 hours here.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, that tangent on the Crunchyroll president. Yeah, that probably is why it took a lot longer to get here. Probably should have just done this on this live stream on Lovely Complex.
Probably, but hey, we got next week to worry about it. So,
Yeah, that's true.
well, on that note, too, we want to thank you folks for tuning in to the first episode of Tokyo Happy Hour. We went through a lot of news tonight. We went through the One Piece news with their
One Punch
season
Man.
3. One Punch Man. I'm sorry, I got my ones mixed up. One Punch Man and their staff copy paste, and we're also dealing with Kaiju number 8. I got my Kaiju number 8, not really living up to what the manga set up for the standard of art, and that may not play out in its favor going forward with the anime adaptation. And also, make sure you tune in next week for our continued breakdown of the heinous rewriting of this slice of life anime about teenagers having a complication over their height difference that's now become some kind of political platform for people who likely I can't say that on Bounding. So, just remember, okay? Don't be a blabber, all right? Have a good night, folks. And if you're in Japan, good morning. Oh, by the way, Nerdigans, where can they find you? When we shut this off.
Oh, you can find me on my YouTube channel, Nerdigans Inc., where I cover I've lost how many count on manga. I've been covering manga and anime since originally books, but 2015, 2016-ish. And on Twitter, that's where I definitely expose most localizations, which you can find me at Packer P9CKER_girl. And you can find more of my content, of course, on Bounding into Comics' website. I got a lot more to come, including One Punch Man's anime, Kaiju number 8's anime, and Lovely Complex, including a very, very interesting response from everyone's favorite localizer, Katrina. So stay tuned for that.
Well, as I said, have a good night and good morning if you're on the other side of the planet.